Well, the Mariners looking to get things right, as it was not a pleasant trip out there in Pittsburgh or in Cleveland, for that matter, as they lose the series to the Cleveland Guardians yesterday. Now a game under 500 and in second place in the AL West. Look to get it turned around against the hapless Los Angeles Angels, who are in town for a 3-game series tonight. Game 1 featuring George Kirby on the hill. He faces off against a pitcher who comes in with a 1-2 record and an 8.84 ERA. That'd be Ryan Johnson. So hopefully the Mariners can make good use of that ERA and add to it. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Happy Monday to everybody out there. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Hopefully we're in store for a great week.
I'm surprised that opened there. You had a lot of energy, a lot of happiness there.
Fired up. So optimistic right now. Feeling so confident, Dave. I'm telling you, everything's going to be just fine.
I thought it was going to be, welcome to Wyman and Bob. Hey, everybody. We're going to recap the series in Cleveland. Yeah, I mean.
You almost have to laugh. I mean, it gets to a point where, trust me, I had many moments screaming at my TV. Again, my neighbors probably think I'm insane. But I got that out, and now you almost just chuckle. It's just like, okay, let's see what you got. Let's see if we can find some answers, and maybe some of our guests today will have answers. We'll have Ryan Rowland-Smith join us at 3 p.m. Gary Hill will join us at 4 p.m. The text line is there for you. Maybe you guys have answers, 866-979-3776. Is that a sound of doubt?
I'm sure the texters have all the great ideas. Oh yeah, they're going to figure this thing out.
Yeah, what would you do? You're all in the manager's spot. You're all in that seat that could be warm right now. I don't know if it should be or if it is, but you're in that spot. You're feeling the pressure. You've been in first place despite how the team's been playing, and finally you're knocked out of first place. You're now a game under 500. Everything's kind of going wrong. Offense goes 13 games in a row, scoring 3 runs or less, tying a franchise record.
I couldn't believe that. I mean, because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm going to go back and check your math there. Sure enough, it was the Washington game. It was the last time.
Yeah.
They scored 10 runs in that one.
Yeah.
Won 10-1. And I'm just joking about the texters. I mean, look, everybody has an opinion about it, and I'm not trying to make it into Mean Text Friday or whatever, but I think that there's lots of complaining, man. I mean, you see, and everybody has an idea, and I'm just curious. We'll see 866-979-3776 what your remedy is for this team. But I don't know that they lost 2 one-run games over the weekend, and if you'd have taken either one of those, how different would you come in here? What would be your mood? I mean, the fact that you lost the lead in the AL West, and you've got the Houston Astros that are kind of sneaking up on you, I think that makes it even worse.
Yeah,
obviously.
Well, and you had a win in hand yesterday. You were up 4-1 in the 8th inning, and you gacked it.
Yeah,
that was bad. That was look, there are ways you lose that hurt. You're frustrating, and offense can't get anything going, especially if your pitcher goes out there and deals and keeps you in the game, gives you a quality start, and you do nothing to back them up. Those are the games that really frustrate me. But seeing a game where they broke that streak, that's the good news. In the 14th game, they scored more than 3 runs. They ended up scoring 5. Problem was they lost. Mm-hmm. So that streak ended. You tied the franchise record. You didn't set a new record, but you found a way to lose that game. You had it in hand. It felt like, and then the bullpen comes in there, and you got arguably your AAA arms going with the game on the line, and they gacked it. I mean, I don't know what else you say about it. It just feels like that's how it's going for them. When they got this side fixed, they got the offense going. Okay, the pitch, all of a sudden the bullpen isn't there. Yeah. And even in that game, Emerson Hancock wasn't sharp, but much like Logan, kind of did their job. Like it wasn't, you point to and go, yeah, was it certainly not what they've been, but he only gave up 1 run in this game. Goes 5 2/3, 1 run. Yeah, there was a lot of traffic, but he got out of it. Some good. He played some great defense. Emerson Hancock made some great plays yesterday. But either way, good teams, good players. You find a way around when it's not clicking, and that's kind of what he did. Giving up just 1 run. Yeah, Logan giving you 7 was his least impressive performance in quite a while because he's been on such a roll, but he still gave you 7 innings. And, taking some heat off a shorthanded bullpen that is 1 arm down because you have 6 starters. You also don't have Matt Brash. You're missing some of your leverage arms there. And then yesterday, I don't really understand what was happening there with the management of the bullpen. And we love Dan. Dan's the nicest guy in the world. He knows more about baseball than I'll ever hope to know. Doesn't mean you can't look at it and go, Dan, I'd love to just be able to pull him to the side and go, help me understand what your logic is here with this, or why did you do this? Why did you bring, Ref Snyder in with the bases loaded, off the bench in that other game? Just the moments like that. I'm sure he's got a very logical, we did that because A, B, and C. Oh, okay.
Do you think that if you did have that conversation with him, that you would walk away going, oh, or would it?
I don't think he would tell me.
That makes sense. No, I know, but let's say he did. Do you think he'd walk away and say, that makes sense now, I get it, or would you be, I disagree with you?
I guess it depends on what he said. I mean, the one thing you always have to allow, and I know it's a hard thing when the emotions are involved because I get as mad as anybody and I'm yelling at the TV, but the one thing, and it always goes back to that thing you said years ago, is we don't see practice, which that's very specific, but we don't see behind the scenes who's hurt, who's dealing with a nagging this, a nagging that, who's not, who's maybe under the weather, who's tired, I don't know. I'm not making excuses. All I'm saying is we don't have that. Dan and the coaching staff has that, and that's not public. It's not even for the media. We very often don't hear about it till well after the fact that, he's been dealing with a sore shoulder, this guy's pec was bugging him, or this guy had the flu, whatever. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. So I always allow for the unknown. Like, all right, there's something he must know that we don't see on the outside for him to make this choice here.
Yeah, I think that's very true about the injuries and things like that. Because over the weekend I went to sit back on my step and I kind of misjudged where it was, and so I just had to put my hand down. And I tweaked something in my shoulder. And this morning, I'm like brushing my teeth going, damn, I got to hold my hand up there. But I mean, the point is that that, I mean, if you have something little like that, you can't go up there and swing. I mean, it's going to screw your mechanics up and everything. So, and I think the fact that they don't bring that up, I would think that would be, 90% of why he makes, decisions of dealing with, different health issues.
Yeah. And again, this is not me going, hey man, I think some guys are hurt. You don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm not making any excuses. What we're seeing on the field is not good. That's not a hot take by any stretch. Why is it happening? Why is the offense struggling the way that it has? And, we saw him switch up the lineup over the weekend. We saw Cal hitting 6th. We saw him hitting 5th. We saw Randy leading off. We saw JP down in the, he's moving guys around. It didn't seem to do a ton. Yesterday was the first time, again, in 14 games where you've exceeded 3 runs scored. So, okay. But is that the remedy? I mean, I think you're seeing the impact of this 6-man rotation. You have 6 starters, so you're automatically short a bullpen arm, and then you don't have Brash, which is another leverage arm. Then you use your leverage arms in an interesting way in this game, where you bring in Bizzardo for 1 out, and then you bring in Spire. He does his job, and then you've got nobody left because Ferrer's burned. You're not going to use him that day, and the situation wasn't you weren't going to bring Munoz in there. So. And then, for whatever reason, you leave Rucker in there, who's got nothing in this game. It's not a rip on him. He didn't have it. They were seeing everything. He had no command. He was either walking them or giving up a hit. And I'm going, are you going to pull this guy? He's seen his 3 hitters. Get him out.
Yeah, and then Josh Simpson comes in, and he pretty much gave you the same. Right?
Yeah, you got, and those aren't leverage guys, but you're forced to use them in leverage situations. So I don't know, how do they rectify the, then we'll get into the whole, piggyback and all that, but I don't really understand what's happening with that either. They made this statement, a couple of weeks ago, we're going to do it 3 times into the All-Star break. Everybody's going to be involved. Here's the plan. Okay. We're all, whether you like the plan, don't like the plan is the plan. It's in place. And then it feels like last minute they went, nah, we got a lot of games coming up. We got 1 day off. It's, whatever it is, 13 or 14 days we got a game, whatever that. We're not doing the piggyback. I'm like, all right, well, what is the plan here? What are we doing? Because I'm wondering how much of an impact does that have on the starters? They're preparing. You prepare differently, thinking I'm going into a piggyback, and then all of a sudden, nope. Logan, you got your own start. Emerson, you got your own start. Is your mentality any different, or is it just another day? Does it have? We'll ask Ryan about that. As a pitcher, does that change anything for you mentally? You've been gearing up, going, okay, I'm talking about being interviewed about it. Logan Gilbert was on the station talking about it. I'm mentally prepared for this. I'm going to do my 5 innings or whatever the plan was, and then Emerson's going to come in, and then kind of last second, we're not doing that. We decide we're going to go with a 6-man rotation here.
That's got to get irritating. And that the thing that's kind of surprising about that is that, Dan being a former catcher, he knows all about what pitchers are going through, and if they get screwed up, their timing or whatever. And I just remember Ryan Rowland-Smith, and we'll ask him, again about everything. But just in the very beginning, like when he said 6-man rotation or piggyback, he's like, it's no good for anybody. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. So. Yeah, that just felt worse. It felt, Bob, like they lost 6 of their last 4.
That's the way it felt. You're not wrong.
Yeah, but I mean they were 4-6 during that that road trip there, that's what their record is the last 10 anyway. Good news, they're still positive run differential, but it's shrinking. And we're
they're now a
second.
losing team.
Yeah, I don't know. Bump and Stacy were kind of talking a little bit about this, and about what they need, and she was saying Stacy was saying that they just don't have like a killer instinct, kind of, and that kind of nailed it. I thought they just you don't see guys going up there and just ripping the ball. They did a big thing on the Rangers this morning on MLB Network, and Jake Berger. This guy, his last 19 games, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. He's batting .359, .447 on base, .594 slug, over 1,000 OPS. We don't have anybody doing that, And that as much as we talk about the pitching, the offense is just not there. I mean that's unacceptable. That they have gone. Was it 13 games or 14 games? Yeah. 13
games, 3 runs or less. Franchise tying record.
It's unbelievable.
And there's been some bad offensive teams in the Mariners' history.
Yeah.
So for this collection of players with Cal and with Julio and with Naylor and with Randy, with those guys in the lineup for the majority of it,
stars.
With JP in there, with just, contact guys even, not, they don't have to be the mashers, just guys you expect to get on. I mean, the fact that that group tied the record. It's just I don't know why that's happening. I don't know. Kevin Seitzer and Edgar Martinez would know better than I would, and I don't think they have an answer. Otherwise, they would have fixed it. So I don't know if you guys think you have the answer. Text it in. What would you do to cure what's wrong with this Mariner team right now? 866-979-3776. One of the good things we saw in the game yesterday was. Victor Robles going 2 for 5, stealing 3 bases. Mm-hmm. And I've been pounding the table on this, and I will say it again. There should never, ever, ever, ever be an instance in the season, in any game, where you need a right-handed bat, and if he's on the bench and Ref Snyder's on the bench, that you choose Ref Snyder over Robles. The end. I don't care what the splits are. I don't care if the guy on the mound has reverse splits. I don't care what the history is between Robles and this pitcher and Ref Snyder and that. I do not care. He should never, ever, ever be in the game ahead of Robles unless Victor's hurt or dealing with something. I do not understand it, and I think you saw an example of what we've been talking about repeatedly. And again, not to make Robles out as Babe Ruth. He's not. He's a solid player. I don't think he's an all-star. I think he's solid when he gets opportunity, but more importantly, he can make some things happen if he gets on base. And I've just got much more faith in his ability to make something happen at the plate and on the base paths, decidedly more than I do Rob Refsnyder. Yeah. And the other part is he's your second best defensive outfielder behind Julio. I don't care what Paul Moyer says. He's number 2. He's number 2.
Moyer said he's a better center fielder
than Julio. He's not. Yeah. But he's a very good outfielder.
Very good.
So to me, that just sort of crystallized that point, just watching him out there yesterday stealing bases, and he's just a nuisance.
He is. Well, and, going into the weekend, you and I were talking about 2 players that we really want to see like extremes from, Luis Castillo and then Rob Refsnyder. And I don't know, is that enough to finally get people off of Rob Refsnyder? I mean, him putting him in.
People being Dan.
Dan, yeah.
I don't know. I thought it would have been a while ago, man, because we're so far beyond slow start, doesn't get a lot of opportunity. He'll find it. You're past the halfway point now.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's not working.
And he went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's not extreme, I guess, if he went up there and struck out 4 times, whatever. But then Castillo, he goes, throws 6 innings, 1 earned run, probably his best start since
his opening day start.
Yeah, against the Yankees.
Yeah,
so
he's only had 3 starts where he's gotten 6 innings. And one of them was the opening day. That was his only quality start of the season. Now this is his second. Yeah. He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked good in that start. So that, that's great. And they won the game. Castillo pitched well, looked good. They won the game.
Yep.
But now you look at it and go, well, that sort of just clouds the picture even more, because had he gone out there and stunk it up, you would have said, all right, you got to put him in the bullpen. We got to stop with this. But he goes out there, pitches well. Again, arguably the second best start of his season.
Right.
And you're going, all right, well, now what do we do? We've been doing this 6-man, piggyback, 6-man, piggyback, just kidding, not piggyback, 6-man. What are we doing?
But it's a good thing. It's an absolutely good thing. And this whole piggyback thing all coming from, the fact that you have, what did Ryan Healy call it, a surplus of starters or something like that? Yeah, instead of calling it the piggyback or whatever. Yeah, because your starting pitching is so good. And I was just so thrilled to see Castillo because, we complain about him every once in a while. Maybe he needs to go to the bullpen, whatever. I mean, had that outing against Boston pretty recently where, he gave up 4 earned runs in four innings. And, but you root for that guy. He's a stud. Everybody loves him in the clubhouse. So, yeah, I mean, it muddies the water, like you said. Now it's like, okay, I guess we're going to be on this ride and speculating whether it's going to be 6-man or piggyback or whatever for
I have no idea what it's going to be. What are you going to do after the All-Star break? Are they going to just get in a room and go, look, we got to make the tough call here. We can't keep doing this. We can't be an arm down in the bullpen. We saw that. Yeah. That was a great example in this game. You're an arm down there.
Right.
You didn't, and arguably it's not going to be Brash that's available, but presumably somebody that's fresher, somebody that's not a AAA arm is going to be available. But you're an arm down because you've got 6 starters.
Yeah,
you saw it bite you in this game.
When do they expand the pitching?
September.
It goes to 14, right?
So in September.
Yeah. So anyway,
but that's
a long ways off.
Yeah, and it's a game where baseball is the best sport for second guessing, and you're going, man, could you have left Hancock in for one more hitter? He was at 98 pitches. Yeah, he had a lot of traffic, but he'd given up 1 run. He had a 4-1 lead. He'd recorded the first 2 outs. He walked a guy. So even if worse comes to worse, the guy coming up goes yard on him. All right, you're still up 4-3. You pull him. Okay, you gave him a shot. It didn't work out. He walked a guy, and they pulled him. I wasn't screaming at the TV on that one, but I'm going, maybe I leave him in there for one more just to see if he can get out of that inning. And here's Dan talking about pulling him in the 6th.
We talked about it, but he was at, where he was in his pitch count. and just where we were in the batting order, just felt like that was the place to get DeZardo and get him in the game. I thought he did a great job to slam the door there and get us back in the dugout. Again, we had a chance and just weren't able to convert today.
Did he say Zardo?
He did.
You can't say the buh.
Yeah, those are the baseball rules. You're not allowed to say a full name.
That's right.
So yeah, there was a lot that happened over the weekend and in that game. Some of it, like I said, the good, they snapped that streak of 3 runs or less. Robles looked good in that game, but outside.
I was very happy about that. That made me, watching him steal back-to-back bases, and then what did he end up with?
3 stolen bases.
3 stolen bases. Yeah, I mean, it just that solidified that. I mean, you've got to get that guy in the game. I'm just curious if maybe it is like we talked about earlier, some kind of a nagging, thing that
he's had the pec, he's had the shoulder, so maybe it's part of it that we don't know. But
he plays hard, right?
Even if he doesn't give you anything at the plate, even if he goes 0 for 4, your outfield defense is impacted in a very positive way. In a way that it's not when Dom Canzone's out there, when Luke Raley's out there, when Rob Refsnyder's out there, when Randy Arozarena's out there. He's better than all of them defensively, and it's not close. So even if he gives you an 0 for a night at the plate, your outfield defense is decidedly better, just him being there, whether he's in right field or left field. So I just, beyond trying to nurse him back, and maybe they're just being careful, I don't see a reason why he's ever coming into a game behind Refsnyder. Ever. Shouldn't happen. All right, let's take 2.
Earlier today, Jeremy Fowler tweeted that Zach Charbonnet has a late July checkup on his knee, but all indications are that he's progressing well.
Okay. Good. Thank you. I'm glad that he's not, had any setbacks or anything like that, but I don't know. That's, I guess that's good to know, but I think it's gonna take a while. I think it's gonna maybe be September, October. That's a big operation to have.
Yeah,
the ACL is a big deal. But Charbonnet, I love him. He doesn't love us.
He doesn't like doing media.
He doesn't like doing media stuff at all. So
that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I just want him to go out there and run people over, and that's what he does, man. He looked really good. I thought he was the better back at the beginning of the year, but then they stuck with K9, and K9 he was awesome.
Major breaking news just into the newsroom. The Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest will be simulcast on ABC for the first time in the event's history. It is going to be easier than ever to watch the most American event of the year.
Do you watch that?
I can't watch it. It's disgusting.
I watch it every
really
year.
It is just disgusting. And then don't they sometimes put the buns in water?
Oh, they always do.
Always.
Yeah.
That is.
You got to soak them up so they're not like dry.
Strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's disgusting.
And they sit there and shake their body to get everything to go down.
Oh, my God.
They're chugging the water. They're just, yeah.
Yeah, well, it is. The only thing that fascinates me is you see the number of hot dogs that the guy eats, and then you look at him, and it's like, where is it going?
Yeah, the people that generally do the worst are the big large people who look like, oh, this guy's going to crush the field, and they are rarely in the thick of it. It's always this, Kobayashi for years was the guy. He's a tiny guy.
Yeah.
Tiny little guy. Now it's Joey Chestnut.
Remember the movie Diner?
Yeah.
Where the big guy comes in and eats the entire left side of the menu?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's like, and he was this big, hulking dude, but yeah, how do those little skinny guys, my dad used to say, maybe he's got a hollow leg, very corny, but yeah, I don't know where it goes. That's what disgusts me about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I get a kick out of it. I always watch it on the replay. Yeah, it's good stuff. Take 2 is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. It's the 2 words that strike fear into students everywhere. Report cards. We'll give our first half Mariners grades coming up next with Wyman and Bob. Seattle Sports on 710.
This was a bad trip.
Throw home, one hop to slide the tag. He is safe at home as the ball was dropped. 2 more runs.
it's a tough one to take.
And they lose their grip on first place in the West.
Tonight, the Mariners are back home at T-Mobile in the first of 3 against the Angels.
Get back home and get ourselves on a roll and get going.
6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
Looking for a new Mazda? Check out Mazda of Everett. As the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, they have over 700 new Mazdas in stock and are known for always offering the Mazda of Everett price. Awarded Mazda's President's Award 13 years in a row and ranked among the top 20 Mazda dealers in the USA for customer service. Locally owned and trusted by thousands. Shop at 11409 Highway 99 in Everett or MazdaofEverett.com. Dealer awards and rankings based on Mazda USA reporting and data.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like public works supervisor.
Hey, this water main is under a ton of pressure. Did you ever fix it?
Yeah, 3 layers of duct tape. Wait, should I have added a 4th layer?
This is a job for Sponsored Jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
June is Men's Health Month. Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to break the stigma and talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Dave Wyman here. Find out about your family medical history, as conditions like prostate cancer can increase your risk. When detected early, prostate cancer has several viable treatment options. One of the most effective treatment methods for prostate cancer is offered at Swedish Medical Center right here in Seattle. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatment sessions, each lasting less than an hour. It's non-surgical, non-invasive, and patients can typically maintain their usual day-to-day lives. This June, during Men's Health Month, make sure to place an emphasis on discussing your health with family and medical professionals. Ask about family history of medical conditions or disease. To learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Got some people weighing in on the hot dog eating competition coming up on the 4th of July. Because we were talking about how the big guys are really never the big threat. They look like, oh man, this guy's going to eat the whole building, and then it's always the skinny people that seem to win these competitions. Big boy, this is from 425. Boys, big belly means lots of weight without that stomach able to expand. Little guys, little weight, lots of stomach expansion. You're welcome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's interesting.
And then somebody just said, me too, Bob. I watch it. So, yeah, I know some people are like, I can't look at it. I can't watch those guys just gorge themselves on those hot dogs.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I feel like, isn't like the hot dog is like the worst, like choking food that you could possibly have, right?
I'm surprised we haven't seen somebody up there choke, like start.
Yeah.
You know, hey, it's going down the wrong way, or somebody needs to Heimlich this person. Right. I've never seen that.
No.
I'd be the one up there choking. That would be.
We get people either texting in these really long Mariner Fix texts, like my guy Greg, our P1 listener.
He's sending you short stories on your text there.
Yeah, it's either that or they want to talk about the hot dog eating contest because, lots of people have ideas of, what to. But I
Joe
think
says, Dave, you're right. It's disgusting. He agrees with you.
Thank you, Joe.
253 said they agree on Victor Robles. It's hard not to root for a guy who goes all out and dives for anything within his reach, regardless of danger.
See, that's the thing I love about him. And I remember people were giving him a hard time because he ran into the wall in San Francisco last year. And
into the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
no problem with that. I had a problem with the outcome. I didn't have a problem with him going all out for that ball.
Somebody said, like, oh, he's not a good player and he's not a good teammate because now he's injured and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come on, man.
That person is what we in the business call an idiot.
Yeah. Is that right? That's the official term.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah. And so that's the thing that, like, what you would say, like, if that was in football, you'd say that guy's a dog, right? You'd say that guy will do anything it takes to win and to make a play. And I just don't see that kind of urgency, with other players. I mean, like when you see Randy Rosarina drop, not make that catch in left field in Pittsburgh, I don't know. It just
there's never a look of urgency in his defense. It just is not who he is.
Yeah, and I was talking about Jake Berger, with the Rangers and how his last 4. I mean, just that's the kind of last 19 games Cal needs to have.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, like our guy Colt Emerson said, you can't white knuckle it, but it's just, I don't know. It just seems like there's kind of a lack of urgency or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll give our grades here in just a moment. A couple other texts quickly. This from Idaho, the 208. Castillo to the pen. Ref Snyder to the IL or DFA, or who cares. Randy to DH. He's a liability in the field. Robles, Canzone, Rayleigh, platoon the 2 outfield spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one that just said, make Luis a long reliever, period. Know your role, go play. That's from Fred in Birch Bay.
Yeah.
Others are like, you start firing. For a start, you fire the hitting coach first. Obviously, he isn't helping the team hit better. Someone needs to be fired to stir things up. I don't know if that's the case. You got that. That's the hard part. The Mariners have put the position they're in. When you've got, I mean, it's Seitzer, but it's Edgar, right? Yeah. Edgar's kind of the face of the hitting, even though Seitzer, I guess, is technically your full-time hitting coach. And then you got two Mariner legends on the staff in Dan and Edgar. So the idea that, of letting either go is distasteful for a lot of people. But if we're just looking at wins and losses, how are they performing? How is the team performing? I don't think asking the question is unfair. Like, should the seat be hot? Should it be getting warm for Dan and for anybody that's, any part of this team that's underperforming? And now we'll give you our grades and taking a look at this team.
But, I look at Castillo and whoever the text that you just read is from. I agree that, like, you've done all of these things. How about as an experiment, put Luis Castillo in the bullpen for, as a long reliever? And, they could have really used that yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. So, if they're going to do all those other things that disrupt every other player, it's like how many, because of Castillo, I feel like that's the reason why they're having to jump through all these hoops and have, all these different piggyback six-man rotation. And, if he can help them in the bullpen better than he can, I mean, it's hard to say after him going out and, putting up 6 innings and, 1 earned run, but I don't know. I mean, I almost feel like he should volunteer for it.
Yeah, it's something needs to shake free here. You just can't have this uncertainty. Are we 6-man or are we piggybacking? Oh, we're not piggybacking now. Now, I mean, just these last minute, it just feels like they don't have a solid plan in place, that it's just kind of free-flowing and we'll make that call when we need to, even though it was a couple of weeks ago where they had we're doing it 3 times, everybody's going to be involved. It's the first one's going to be Bryce and Luis, and then the others will figure out, who opens, who comes out of the bullpen, what have you. But it was a done deal until we got to that point, and they said, nah, just kidding. Mm-hmm. These guys get their own start. So anyway, moving on to the grades here, Dave. Let's start with the offense. What would be your grade for the Mariners offense in the first half, even though we're technically past the first half of the season?
14 games in a row with only
13.
3 runs? 13. I want to make it 14 for some reason.
Well, that would be a record for them.
Yeah. It's a D.
Yeah.
Especially, what we're expecting from this club. So, yeah, I mean, Cal's not being Cal, and, Randy has been okay. But, yeah, and, obviously you've got the injuries and everything, but that's really no longer an excuse.
Yeah, I'm with you. I give it a D. They are underperforming. I think they're a better collection of talent than what they're producing. Yeah, you've got injuries. So does every other club. Yeah. So does the club behind you by a half game, the Houston Astros, who are riddled with injuries, look like their season was lost. Yep. They're a half game behind the Mariners now. So, yeah, offense has been wildly disappointing, as we just touched on, with 13 consecutive games of 3 runs or fewer. That's a D. Mm-hmm. How about defense?
I won't be as harsh. I'd say C-. I mean, look, they're a C team, right? I mean, they're a C- team, really. They're 1 game under 500. So, yeah, I would say a C-.
Yeah,
it hasn't been like every problem in every game, but
no,
you see guys making mistakes that they shouldn't make.
It's splitting hairs. I'm going D+. I think they've been a poor defensive team this year. I think you've seen plays where you're just going, why? Naylor's made a number of bad throws where you're like, where is that coming from? And JP's made some bad throws, and even Julio's had a couple of gaffes. And just collectively, there's been some out of character defensive miscues. That I would say I don't think they're a very solid defensive team, at least through the first half. So I'd go D+. Starting pitching,
I'll go A-. I know you're a tough grader.
Yeah,
I think you're going to be somewhere in the B's. But yeah. They have too much good starting pitching right now. So, yeah, A-. Yeah, I'm
going to go B- because I think you have great arms, but it's been wildly inconsistent. We can go each guy and go game log and look at him and go, well, there's a bad stretch here. And Wu can't win on the road, but he's dominant at home. And for a while, Logan couldn't win at home, but he's dominant on the road. And, we've talked about Luis, and, we've talked to Emerson Hancock has hit a bit of a speed bump as of late. So there's, Bryce Miller started the year hurt. So he hasn't had a full complement of starts out there, but he's been very good. So collectively, they've been dominant at times, getting lit up at times. That's baseball. They've been just a little more inconsistent than I would have expected. So I'll go B- there. How about bullpen?
Well, I mean, because of injuries, obviously, but you have a guy like after last year, Andres Munoz. You expected way more out of him, and he has been kind of all over the place. So, yeah, I'm going to say that's going to be a C-.
Yeah, I was actually going to be a little easier on the bullpen based on injury with Brash being down and all that, and Ferreira's been. They've all had their moments where they haven't been awesome. Certainly, you brought up Munoz. But collectively, considering the strain that's being put on them by being an arm down with the 6-man rotation and losing a leverage arm and seeing Ferrer do what he's been able to do, Spire's been very good. Pizzardo's been very good. I'm going to go C. I'll go C on the bullpen. And then last one, manager/coaching.
This is going to piss you off, Bob. I'm going to give it a C. Just because, I don't know, the older I get, the more I'm like, the players have to go make plays.
Yeah,
they have to go make plays. You get put in a position you're not happy about, get over it, and let's go. And so, yeah, I just think they're a game below 500, and that gets a C.
Yeah, I'm going to go D because this team is underperforming in my estimation. I think they're a better team than what they've shown. I think we pointed to their defense, we pointed to their offense, their pitching has been inconsistent. Yet ultimately, you're right, 100% on the players, but. Your manager has to put you in a position to win, and your coaches, your individual coaches, fielding coaches, hitting coaches, have to work with your deficiencies. And and to this point, it's not taking. It's whatever the issue is with the offense. It's not taking. So Seitzer and Edgar need to come up with a different method. I don't know. I don't know what you need to do to get this offense to be a little more consistent than what we've been. I don't think it's a big ask.
The only thing I can think of is George Costanza. Remember where he was sweating after a shower? Oh, yeah, the shower didn't take.
That's right. That's right. That's much like the coaching going on there. All right. You guys can text in your grades on those areas as well. Meanwhile, Cal had some frank words following yesterday's loss. Will they be enough, though, to help this team turn it around? Let you hear what he had to say coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The Mariners have now scored 3 runs or fewer in 11 consecutive games. So what's the deal?
Yeah, you don't have a Mariner on pace to hit 30 home runs. A lot of frustration on that overnight text toy. Why there's a lot of frustration in the socials.
Because you know that as bad as and as bleak as things are today, the sun will come out tomorrow, if you'll excuse the Annie reference.
It's gonna come out tomorrow.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I love this time of year, summertime weather. That means you get out on the motorcycle. Love it. Ride it to work every chance I get. If it's over 60 and it's not raining, I'm on that bike. And it's good to know I've got somebody that's backing me up should things go wrong. That's Law Tigers. And for 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders out there with one mission only, and that's to serve the motorcycle community. With Law Tigers, you are never riding alone. So when the unexpected happens, you need more than a lawyer. You need somebody who understands the ride. And that's why riders have trusted Law Tigers the way they have. It's not just what they do, it's who they are. Law Tigers are going at it 25 years strong and still riding with you. And should you need them, they are going to help you get your gear in your bike replaced or repaired because they know how much that stuff means to you. So should the unfortunate happen, you find yourself in an accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Taking the time to understand who you're working with. So that way you can understand, am I putting them in the best situation to be successful based on either their skill set or what they've gone through in their personal life. But you got to take the time to know your coworkers, your teammates, all that kind of stuff like that between the lines, because then otherwise it's not relationship based. And so that's a priority for us as far as making sure that we get to know each other between the lines. And then through that, right, you go shared experiences, and then two, now you're in the trenches together, and then you build the camaraderie, and then you got the trust and everything else that comes with that type of thing. That's really what, Brett and myself are trying to, articulate and communicate with the people that we work with, that, hey, yes, we have a job to do and we do have to perform to make sure that this business is sustainable. But the foundational piece is the relationship.
Lee Johnson, our family, the LJ way.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh, yeah. Used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
All right, summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Mike Salk here, and you can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st. If you need a laugh, comedy legend David Spade visits on August 15th, or you can relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. All the tickets are at snocasino.com. You can experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. Coming up at 3 o'clock, we'll check in with Ryan Rowland-Smith, who joins us each and every week. Always a fun conversation with Ryan. So see what kind of answers he has for this Mariners team. We got people texting in accusing you and I of being Luis Castillo haters, or as they call him, Lewis.
Yeah. Can you spell his name right?
Yeah, if you're such a fan, you should at least spell the guy's name right. Give him that courtesy. But
Well, the guy's probably driving right now.
Or
Shouldn't
haters.
do that.
Haters. Why should he go to the bullpen? He's been better than everybody recently. All right.
Yeah, somebody also giving me a hard time about the how can Dan be a passing grade?
Yeah.
C- is not great.
It's passing, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
I
a good
mean,
grade.
look, I think it's the players.
Look, I would have taken a C- in high school, though. That gets me through. All right, I'm in. Sign me up. Yeah, I was going to be a rock star, Dave. I didn't need school.
Yeah, I know. I was going to be a football player.
I was convinced. Meanwhile, Cal Raleigh, who we've heard after games, voice frustration for different reasons, right? In the past, frustrations with ownership and wanting to get the right pieces in place. And he talked about this game and talking about their need for this team just to, when you've got a lead, you lean on a team. You don't let them up. You don't let them up for air. You keep your foot on the gas.
Thought we did a good job early. Thought we came out with a good game plan. Run some really good bats. But, we got to keep the foot on the gas. I think that's the story of the game there. Can't let off. I think, we got to play full 9, come to the field ready to compete for 2-3 hours a day and not an hour and a half. So I think that's kind of what I saw.
It'd be interesting to hear what did you see? You see guys that are lollygagging? Yeah. Did you see a lack of fire from guys, or were they just giving up at bats up there, just like, we're fine, we got a lead, I'm just going to chase here? Something I wouldn't normally do. What are you seeing that would make you say that?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like getting picked off on the base paths, not going full out. I mean, you look at that pop. Well, it wasn't really a pop up, but it was a deep fly to left field in the Pittsburgh series. We talked about it with Randy Arozarena. Mm-hmm. Compare that to last year when Robles goes smashing into the wall. Like I feel like there's a lack of urgency and that kind of sounds like what Cal's talking about.
But he's talking about this game specifically. So I'm just curious what he saw, because he's saying we can't play for an hour and a half. You got to play for the whole, whatever he said, 3 hour, whatever it is. Like, did he see specifically in this game, like, again, somebody standing in the box that all of a sudden their plate discipline's gone and they're just chasing everything because they think, we got this game in hand, or somebody not hustling on defense, or what did he see specifically?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it kind of ties together with what you've been saying, and and I'm like, God, I don't know how that could be a thing, but maybe it is. But they underperform against lesser opponents, and so maybe that's the sense of urgency that they're missing there. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of interesting that he brought that up, because that's kind of what you've been saying, and I don't know. I guess that's the only thing I can think of is you look at the way, and I guess Robles, because he got the 3 steals yesterday and laid down the bunt because he saw the third baseman way back, and just trying to win every single at bat.
Yeah, and
you just don't see that kind of urgency.
One more from Cal here. He was asked how they can turn the page from that ugly loss.
You move on. Once you leave this locker room, it's over. But we got to learn from it. We got to, we got to put together better 9s than we're doing right now. Like I said, I think we're doing a good job of getting guys on base, of starting out pretty relatively good, or vice versa on the back half. But it's just, those are full 9s. To me, you got to play all 9 innings as hard as you can, a lot of energy. And then find a way to scrap and claw, because you never know when you might need that extra one, or that's the extra insurance is going to help, and it's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, again, implying guys are not playing a full 9, like they're taking their foot off the gas. He called it a locker room, Dave.
Yeah, clearly he does not know ball. No. It's sad.
That's interesting. Well, because he said it in both those cuts where he's implying, you can't play part of the game. You can't play the first half and then you get a lead and feel like, okay, we got this. I want to get into the micro, like, okay, did you see a play? Was there something where you looked at it and said, what is this guy doing?
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's obviously not going to air anybody out publicly, but I'd love to know just what were you seeing that told you, this guy thinks we got it in the bag. They're not giving a full 9 here. And so he's reiterating that. I don't know if that's directed at any single person or a group of people, or if he's just saying, hey, collectively, we got to just be more intense than we've been.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, you got to believe he's talking about veterans, too. I mean, because the two young guys in the middle of the defense are, those guys are flying around, and they've been a great story.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, and Robles, I think is a great example. But, yeah, maybe he's talking about,
maybe he's talking about Randy. I don't know. I'm kidding.
Going back to the WBC.
Maybe he's still mad at him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Our favorite Bogan will help us understand what happened with the Mariners, and we'll see what he thinks of what Cal had to say. What does he take away from that? Ryan Rowland-Smith is going to join us next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
This was a bad trip.
Throw home, one hop to slide the tag. He is safe at home as the ball was dropped. 2 more runs.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take.
And they lose their grip on first place in the West.
Tonight, the Mariners are back home at T-Mobile in the first of 3 against the Angels.
Get back home and get ourselves on a roll and get going.
6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Long days call for lots of golf. Hey, it's Graz here, encouraging you to book a tee time between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. at your local premier course, like Bellevue, Bill Wright, Cedar Crest, Inner Bay, Jackson Park, Lake Padden, Legion Memorial, Linwood, and Walter Hall. In Western Washington, you're never far from a premier course. It accommodates all skill levels, and with affordable rates, you can book a tee time and truly enjoy the summer. If you're not in the mood for walking, play Top Tracer at the range at Inner Bay, Bill Wright, and Jackson Park. Play the courses. Play Premier.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with, Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation, they're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now, Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through June 30th.
I'm Raleigh Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to wish you a happy Independence Day. The 4th of July is my favorite. It's about family, gratitude, patriotism, and amazing exploding lights in the sky. Perhaps I love it most because it's called Independence Day. I love to fight for my clients' independence. Your right to drive, to provide for your family, your right to do stuff. You feel liberty most when you lose it. Remember buying a box of bottle rockets and salute shells with nothing more than a "have fun, kids"? Well, things have changed since then, including the consequences of a DUI. We're your safe and sane solution to keep freedom ringing. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom, unless they're flashing behind you. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
Night.
Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, the Mariners looking to get things right as they come back home below 500, 42 and 43, now in second place in the AOS behind the Texas Rangers, and hopefully George Kirby helps them get it turned around. He comes in with a 6-7 record, 3.94 ERA. They'll be facing off against Ryan Johnson of the Angels, who's 1-2 with an 8.84 ERA. So hopefully some good things happening for the Mariners tonight. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
I actually talked about it on You Betcha on the podcast.
He is an unrivaled source of baseball knowledge.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
A guy who always has your back.
Pants back on, try and make the uniform look sweet in a split second. Come out, and I'm trying to open the door. I'm like, what the? And I said, listen, buddy, put your babysitting shoes on because Dad's going out for Father's Day. You got to watch Top Gun. Yeah, how's the bracket looking? You guys don't listen when I speak. I'm talking to a brick wall right now.
Ryan Rowland-Smith, every week with Wyman and Bob.
That's the open right there.
Makes me laugh every time.
Every time.
How's your bracket looking?
What were we
Some
doing?
real voice.
What were we doing when you said it was like talking to a brick wall, talking to us? What?
No. Okay, that wasn't. You guys got all upset and offended over that.
No,
it was.
No.
We're still hurt.
It was more of I was rambling so bad that you guys just zoned out, just tuned out on what I was talking about. I was like, man, I'm just talking to a brick wall right now. That's what I was. I was ripping myself.
Oh, Ryan, it's good to see you, man. Welcome back, and it's. I wish we were talking about, man, this team is red hot, and what do you love?
Mm-hmm.
This has been great, but we're on the opposite end of things. To keep it real, we're looking at a team that's now in second place. They're below 500. A dreadful loss yesterday, and I'm curious. We were playing this cut from Cal Raleigh after the game. I'm sure you probably heard it. Did you
I still haven't heard it yet.
Okay,
I was on a plane last night, so I have not heard it yet. But Goldie was telling me about it. I'm glad I get to listen to it with you guys.
Yeah, I want to play. He had 2 where he made the same reference to guys not playing a full 9 innings. But take a listen to this, and I want to ask you a question after it.
You move on. Once you leave this locker room, it's over. But we got to learn from it. We got to, we got to put together better 9s than we're doing right now. Like I said, I think we're doing a good job of getting guys on base, of starting out pretty relatively good, or vice versa on the back half. But it's just, those are full 9s. To me, you got to play all 9 innings as hard as you can, a lot of energy. And then find a way to scrap and claw because, you never know when you might need that extra one or that's the extra insurance is going to help. And it's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, so he had that, and he had a comment before that, like, you got to keep your foot on the gas. We not playing a full 9 here. And I'm wondering, if you're in that clubhouse, do you take that as like an all-inclusive, like, hey, we as a group, or did you see anything that stood out to you yesterday that he's talking about that? He's talking about this effort on defense, or these guys are now expanding the zone because they think they've got the game won, so now they're chasing pitches they wouldn't normally chase, or what do you think he's referring to?
Well, I didn't think it was, specific to the one game, yesterday. Keep in mind, too, Cal went from on this, being on this roster, then having plenty of time watching from kind of the outside looking in, right, in regards to watching the games away from being around the team, because he was in Arizona essentially. So he's probably looking at that, and then comes back. And look, he's struggled since he's come back. He hasn't found that timing. We always talked about when he came back from the IL, the timing, everything else. I think he's referring to. First of all, let me take a step back for a second. There's a point in the season, and this is around that time. You're midway through the season, right? You're June. You're starting to see around the league GMs getting fired, like Perry Manassian with the Angels who were playing tonight. He got let go. Carlos Mendoza was let go. There's going to be some other shakeups and everything else. Around that time, it's like, okay, this is who we are. This is our identity. This is what we got. This is what we have. And so I think that, the standard is kind of set where he's being vocal about it now, and he's done this in the past, where this is not who we are, this is not our identity, where it's, we have that deflating feeling of like losing a game, giving up a lead, or we score some runs and then we kind of go flat. We talked about that a little bit coming off the last road trip too. They had a long road trip. It was hot out in D.C., and they just looked flat the last couple of days of that road trip. And there was just no energy. They got down quickly, and then all of a sudden, again, there was just nothing. There's really no fight. So I think that Cal's kind of observed this a little bit, maybe some time when he was on the IL. And then he's watching this of late, and it's been a grind, man. And he's gone through it too. Obviously, he's right there with it. But it's been a grind with the injuries and everything else. And so I think that he's being vocal about the fact that you have to play all night. It's so true. It sounds cliche, but it's not. It's a situation where it's like you score a few runs early and you feel like you're in a good rhythm. You got to keep your foot on the gas, like he's talking about. Or on the flip side, you get down. And I said this to Bump and Stacy, matter of fact, when they live in Pittsburgh. I said, when they go to Cleveland, I want to see them put up a fight against a really good bullpen. Like, that's the mark of a good team. That third, fourth at-bat, you're going to get matched up. And can you beat that best or second best or third best guy out of the option out of the bullpen? That's what really good teams do. And we just essentially hadn't seen that for a while. And so I remember, they actually did that the first game in Cleveland, and they all of a sudden they broke through. It's like, okay. And that's a part of that fight that I think the Cal's talking about. 1 through 9 innings where you just foot on the gas, and it's just that relentless fight. The White Sox do that, by the way. Look, this is a young team, and they just have that. They get down a couple, man. You have a challenge. Doesn't matter what point in the lineup you're up against. The Boston Red Sox now all of a sudden are starting to have a little bit more of that fight we're seeing. And so I just feel like with this team, there's just a little bit of that energy. It's like, well, we're dealing with injuries. We're playing a little flat at the moment. And that has to change because, man, if you get in that rhythm and that's how you are as a team, especially as you get to these warmer days and these longer road trips, man, it can be tough.
I feel like Robles is like the poster boy for that as far as like playing. That guy seems to always play hard, and we were talking about last year. I mean, he runs into the wall because he's trying to make a catch and does and hurts himself, and I don't know. He just seems like a guy that has to be in the lineup right now and has to be every day because he's the one guy that you see that's kind of playing with urgency. Yeah.
And look, it's not so much where it's one of these things. Baseball's a funny one because you got 26 guys on a team. It's the most individual team sport there is. Like, let's be honest, right? It really is. And there's one thing that you cannot pay attention to because you don't see it on the field when guys are, there's nonverbal cues all over the place. But what goes on in that dugout when whack 3-run bomb, all of a sudden the crowd goes crazy on the road and you're down by, you just give up a lead. The energy inside that dugout can be absolutely a killer. Like when you see some of the reaction, if you don't have some of that fight afterwards. And, it's interesting, but you want players. I'm with you, man. I mean, look, Victor Robles, he's had, let's get real, man. He's had a rough month of June. He's hitting under 200. But you're right, Dave, just having some of that where it's that fight or just getting after that one pitch and keeping the ball from getting in the gap, laying out at shortstop, sliding a certain way or just some of that extra energy, just going hard around that first base, man. I haven't been able to do that. I feel like everyone's got a hamstring issue at the moment. Like everyone's got to slow up around first base. It's like, oh, my, man. All those little things, like, and again, look, I had a chance, on the weekend. I was watching the games. I wasn't with the team. I was over in New Jersey, but, I was obviously keeping in touch with the games. I was watching, Trav Bazana, and it's like watching, he's a classic example. The Guardians, man, they just do some of those little things that have that little bit of energy factor to them that just change kind of the feel when you're on a team of 26, and it is really an individual effort.
How much do you put on a manager when you're talking about a team that's playing flat? We're talking about a team that went 13 games in a row, Ryan, scoring 3 runs or fewer, tying a franchise record. Look, ultimately it comes down to the players. We know that. But if we're talking about, and you're hearing a player say, hey, we got to play 9. We got to have that intensity through 9. How much of that is on the manager? How much of that is on the hitting coaches to get this offense has just gone through a dreadful stretch. And I think, we're sort of loath to be critical of Edgar because Edgar's a hero in this town, but he's part of it, and Seitzer's part of it. So how much do you put on those 3?
Well, I think they all have different roles. And half of the battle, and I've said this about Dan Wilson and with Kevin Seitzer and Bobby Magianis, right? I look at it like Magianis kind of has his guys on this team. Seitz kind of has his guys too. And there's a respect factor where it's like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm going to trust what you're doing. Look, man, you cannot look at this and say, oh, hey, look, rough month or rough stretch and say, oh, well, the hitting coach needs to go and do this drill. Like, it just doesn't at this level with playing every single day. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. What you need is someone as that, that sounding board when you walk in. Hey, man, what are you seeing? And then they give you feedback, and you trust that. And the battle is too when you're going through a tough stretch, and you're not hitting or whatever it is. And I've had good pitching coaches and I've had bad ones. A pitching coach can potentially, it happens sometimes. Hey, man, I'm seeing you doing some physical tweak. Well, man, especially in the month of June, you have to trust that. Like, you go out the bullpen and you're down on yourself or something's not clicking or something's not in good rhythm, especially hitting. And he says, hey, I'm noticing this with your hands or your setup, whatever it may be. You better trust that. And that can be one of those little tinkering things, or it could just be simply, hey, look, your approach, man. Hey, trust the fact that in this count, you're going to get this pitch to handle. All right, let's do it. Now, when you're struggling, it can be tough and it can be magnified. So I'm not sitting here going, oh, well, hey, go do these 5 drills. Why aren't they doing that? They're not hitting. That's just not how it goes at this level, man, especially in June, once you figure out in the first couple of months where you're at. So that's a big one. Now, in regards to the energy with Dan Wilson, I'm not sure. He might talk about today. I'm sure they've come home after, getting home late last night or whenever they got home after the game. 9 o'clock at night or whatever. Gotten some rest. Hey, come in early. We're just going to have a team meeting. They did that early in the season, by the way. Mm-hmm. That's where the manager can intervene, right? And what Cal's talking about with some of the energy, that's where Dan Wilson, where it's, all right, you get everyone in front of you, you make that eye contact, and that's where you can kind of get everyone to press the reset button on what they're doing and just say, hey, look, plenty of season left, take a breath, let's all figure out, what's going on, and from an individual standpoint, let's figure out what each individual needs just to be that touch better and to play a full 9 or to get that energy back or whatever it may be. So you don't fall into a place that you're getting close to the All-Star break and you're hovering around 500 or below like they are right now. And then it's all of a sudden a finger-pointing session where it's like, oh, well, so-and-so did that. I can't believe so-and-so pitched in this situation. Well, there's a rhyme and a reason for everything, right? What they do. And there's stuff behind the scenes that Dan Wilson will not say, like guys who just aren't available. Like, everyone's blowing up about the pitching decision. Man, it's tough when you have one less guy in the bullpen, flat out. And it's not a piggyback situation. I'm sorry. Like, that's the way it goes. And when you want to match up and you press that button early with Emerson Hancock yesterday and you go to your back-end guys, man, it creates that hole. Missing Matt Brash is a struggle with that, right? You lose that. You just lose. It just takes such a chunk out of the depth in regards to how you can match up when those innings come. And they fell into that in the last game of this road trip. And, man, it just was magnified because they lost. And, you know, it blew up in their face. And so some of these little things that go on, I think when you talk about what a manager can do, it's that team meeting in the afternoon where you can make that eye contact. Everyone's bought in. Maybe they're not bought in. Like, that happens too. But I think this group has been together long enough and been through enough of the highs and lows in 162 where they can take a breath collectively and look themselves in the mirror and look at the team and say, okay, we're okay. We've got plenty of time. Let's not fall into this pattern and this standard that Cal Rawley's talking about and being vocal about.
Hey, Ryan, did you ever have, a manager that had a particularly notable type of, pep talk or whatever, when you have those kinds of meetings? Anything that you remember that, like, kind of flipped a switch a little bit, or
I'll be honest
something
with you.
crazy like screaming and yelling and throwing chairs and stuff like that?
Look, okay, just before I answer that, and I've had some good ones, but I've also had the ones where, I'm not joking, you walk out of the room and, like, everyone's kind of rolling their eyes. It's like, oh, man, no one's taking this seriously, this talk. Like, no one's trusting this message, period. And then I had other ones where I was like, man, okay, like this, I kind of needed this, man. Like, this was kind of nice to hear. It was kind of nice to hear this out loud when I'm looking around and everyone's kind of shoulder to shoulder when you're around the clubhouse. And I'm like, boom, he kind of nailed that. I'm not going to name names, but he nailed that message. And I'm like, man, and then you go out and you just have that, just a little bit of a reset, and you're looking at each other a little bit differently. Because, man, I'm telling you, like, I can't emphasize this enough. That plane ride home after a game like yesterday sucks. And then the conversation can start on that plane, not in a good way, or it can go the other way. And it is up to where you put a stop to that as quick as you can. You get here in the afternoon, and you have just that. Everyone takes a breath. Everyone's in the same room, getting on the same page. And then you go out to do your workouts, and it's just that better feeling like, okay, we're all good. We're okay. If I can just get a little bit of this and a little bit of that fixed up, whatever that may be, I'm going to be in a good spot. So that's important. And again, like I said, I don't know if they met today or not, but I'm saying at some point that will happen. It's happened plenty of times last year too. They were in the same similar spot last year, even later in the season, and they had to have that little, you look each other in the eye, everyone in the same room, everyone on the same page meeting.
What, Ryan, at this point is your feeling about how the rotation's being handled? Because it feels like it's disjointed. It's not. We had that they broke the news a couple of weeks ago. All right, we got 3 more piggybacks we're doing into the All-Star break. Here's how it's going to go. Bryce and Luis go in the first one, and then all the other starters are going to be involved in the other two. And then it felt like almost last minute. This last one was like, nah, just kidding. We're going to go. Logan, you're on your own. Emerson, you're on your own because we got this stretch of game. I mean, does that mess with your head, Logan's head, Emerson Hancock's head at all? Because you've been talking about it, doing interviews, talking about my piggyback turn is coming up here. It's coming up. It's coming up. Oh, it's not coming up. Now it's this. Does that have any impact at all?
Yeah, I'm about to get downstairs and have more of a chat about that and find out, some background, because yes, 100%. And everyone's like, oh, just go 6-man, extra day's rest. Woohoo, great, awesome. It keeps them healthy. It's not that simple, man. It just simply is not that simple. And look, George Kirby, George was really good last time out, but he's had some gaps in between some outings, man. And a guy like that, look, I know he's a command machine, right? I know all that, but just watching that last game in Pittsburgh, the first couple innings, I'm curious to see tonight. There's a couple of things I want to look at tonight. I'm in the booth with Goldie, and I'm curious to see. But the first couple innings, man, it was like walking a tightrope, man. The breaking ball was not sharp at all. Heater was down the middle of the plate. Some really hard contact. He ended up giving up a couple runs in the second and third, but even the first inning, it's like, oh, man. To me, he looked fresh. Don't get me wrong, he was throwing hard. I get all that. Didn't look sharp, though. Didn't have the same effect on his pitches. And it can really mess with your rhythm. It really can. So I'm sure there's reasons why they went, okay, we're going to do the piggyback. No, you know what? We're going to give everyone an extra day. I'm sure there is. And I'm about to go find out right now. But, yes, man, when you get into this rhythm of the season and days in between and how many days, you got to sit there and stew on your last game, good or bad, it can really mess with you. It's a real thing.
As far as the piggyback thing and everything, it does seem like with Luis Castillo's performance, which is the best performance since opening. I guess that wasn't opening day, but
what do you get? 6 innings, 1 run,
yeah,
4 punch outs, yeah, punchies.
Yeah. No, I don't know what that is, Ryan.
That was for you, by the way.
That was for Bob. Yeah.
I've been waiting all day to say that.
Yeah. So you got 4 punchies, Ryan. So I mean that kind of continues to sort of muddy the water because somebody was talking about him being a long reliever. And now, because of what happened yesterday, all the focus, shifting more towards the bullpen. So I don't know what we kind of going into the weekend. We were like, I want it to be really, really good or really, really, really bad, and it was really, really good.
Hey man, I'm with you on that. I'm like, it's because look, I've been in this situation where it's like the minute you give them an excuse to say, oh, sorry, we're going to bump your start. Sorry, we're going to put you in the bullpen for right now, or whatever. They'll do it. And it's like you have to go out every time out. And I guarantee Luis Castillo is in this spot right now where it's like I am going out. And it's good because it creates that sense of urgency and it creates that presence for him, which is really, really important in my opinion. And he went out like, nope, you're not messing with me. Here's 6 innings for you, 1 run, and everyone benefits from it. Great. However, you look and think, oh, man, like, if it got messy today, look, it just kind of makes an easier road to say, here's our 5 guys. Because at some point, you're going to go 5. Now, by the way, just back to the piggyback thing, I thought, okay, I totally understand the piggyback situation. Not to jump back to this, because it's this time of year, and teams are starting to do it, by the way. They're starting to get to a spot where, like, for example, Paul Skeens pitched against the Reds the other day. And I was listening after the game. He threw, I want to say, 35 pitches in the 2nd or 3rd inning. Well, after the game, he went back out there, and the bullpen was going. Now, this is Paul Skeens, right? Now, I get it. He's phenom and everything else. But matter of fact, they were talking about, well, hey, they were actually talking about this is that time where we're going to go give him a full start, and then next time out, we're probably going to cut him down to 70. I was like, oh, boom, that's this time of year. This is what teams are starting to do a little bit. And so I was looking like, oh, perfect. If we keep this especially Emerson Hancock, man, like the guy hasn't been in this territory where it's just start after start every fifth day or 6th to 7th day, whatever. This deep into a season. Okay, here's a perfect time. Give him a piggyback, give him a little bit of a breather, go 3 innings, and then back to a regular start. Well, they didn't do that. So there's got to be a reason. I'm going to find out. But it's the Luis Castillo going 6 innings, 1 run. I'm sitting there going, hey, man, I've been there. Like, don't give him any excuse right now because at some point, it's going to be 5 guys.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, last one. I'm curious, and I don't even know if you know this. A lot of our listeners feel like they know it. And that is decisions being made when it comes to bullpen or pinch hitting. Mm-hmm. They believe a lot of that is coming from Jerry and Justin and not from Dan. And I'm curious, how do you feel like they share that responsibility? Because we see situations like the game a few nights ago where they had the bases loaded 3 different times. The third time, Dan Wilson brings up Rob Refsnyder to pinch hit for Luke Raleigh, who we talked about it, who had just gotten a hit off a lefty earlier. I know this was a nasty lefty, so he's going right-hander. But instead of Robles, who he put in as a defensive replacement in that same game, he goes with Refsnyder, who just looks lost. Looks like he's not seeing the ball. And so people look at that and go, well, that's not coming from Dan. That's coming from Jerry and Justin. What's your take on how much autonomy Dan truly has when it comes to those kinds of, in-game decisions, bullpen, what have you?
No, that's coming from the bench. And there is matching up pitches. There's pre-game decisions being made, whether it's, Pete Woodworth with the pitching. They go through 50 different scenarios pre-game. Him, Dan, Trent Blank, you name it. They sit around, especially like, I'll give you an example, right? Like, so I do my show and I try and ask guys to do interviews, and Woody sometimes, I talk to Woody about, hey, is so-and-so up to talk or whatever. He goes, hey, man, just not on day one of a series. Why? Because they're sitting there spending so much time going through every scenario on the pitching side and on the hitting side. Mm-hmm. That is not something where it's like, oh, no, he has to hit. No. That comes from way more of a conversation, even a conversation with Luke Raleigh. Hey, Luke, on this pitch, like, how you feeling? Like, they're constantly talking. So I think from a gut reaction in the moment, it's coming more from the bench. This whole conspiracy about, they're like, no, he has to do this or do that. Look, they've got input. I mean, this is a big collaboration, but it's not something like, oh man, I really, put it this way, to give you an example. It's not, oh man, I really want to have this guy hit. Oh, but they said upstairs, no, I'm not allowed. No, that doesn't exist, period. They've got some input, I'm sure. And they've got input from people outside that you don't even know are around from an analytics standpoint, of course. But in the moment, the decision comes like, hey, look, this is this pitch in this moment, this time. And there's more to it than just simply, righty coming up against this lefty or whatever. There just simply is.
Ryan, you're the man. Good to see you, buddy. Have fun out there.
Good to see you guys. You guys come to the game this week or what?
Yeah. We'll see you
always see you. I see you guys here all the time, man. It's great.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
We'll see
Except for Lefko.
Yeah.
I don't need to see him.
He's not in the room today, so you're safe. You're good. We appreciate.
I actually see him down here right now. He's hovering. I'm like, dude, you don't need to be here. Go away.
Yeah, tell him.
I'm kidding.
Shoo fly. Shoo. We appreciate you, man.
Sounds good. Good to see you guys.
There he is. Ryan Rowland-Smith with us each and every week. Our weekly conversation with Ryan Rowland-Smith is presented by Mazda of Everett. If you missed any part of it, you'll be able to find that on the podcast page after the show. Just go to seattlesports.com, click the podcast tab, and click on our picture. It'll be right there waiting. And don't forget to click subscribe. It's totally free, and then it just shows up for you. Could the disrespect the Seahawks are facing actually be helping them? We'll talk about that coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
This was a bad trip. Throw home, one hop, the slide, the tag. He is safe at home as the ball was dropped. 2 more runs.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take.
And they lose their grip on first place in the West.
Tonight, the Mariners are back home at T-Mobile in the first of 3 against the Angels.
Get back home and get ourselves on a roll and get going.
6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton here. And Bob, honesty and integrity is really what sets our sponsor, Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, apart from other doctors that I have seen and had do surgery, all kinds of things. He's one of those guys that is very straight with you. And he told me that my knee needs replacement. And not all doctors will give it to you straight. And it just seems like, from your experience, Bob, he under-promised and over-delivered.
Yeah, 100%. I thought I had reached the end of the road with my hip, which had been problematic for years. After all the sparring and training in jiu-jitsu, I had a torn labrum, had a frayed tendon, I had arthritis developing, inflamed bursa sac, all these things. He took a look at the imaging and said, look, this doesn't cure everything, but it's going to go a long way into helping you. And I feel like he undersold it because it is night and day. I was looking at surgery. I'd done physical therapy. I'd done steroid injections. And he eliminated all of that from the conversation.
Yeah, and I've heard that from so many different testimonials about Dr. Wagner. So whether it's a shoulder, a hip like Bob had, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents wisdom from the road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg that the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, because now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I think the Seahawks have the chip on the shoulder they need to go into this season, Dave. Just no respect. They're the Rodney Dangerfield of the NFL. They win a title and nobody respects them. And it feels like that's more of a local take, that local fans, obviously Seahawks fans, feel like, hey, we're not getting enough love thrown our way, enough credit for the season, and everybody's talking about this team, everybody's talking about that team, and this signing and that signing. And it's stretching beyond Seattle, though, because we're hearing national voices out there talking about it. And somebody like Kevin Clark's out there talking about the Seahawks. In his opinion, is, he says, it are the most disrespected Super Bowl champion of his lifetime.
Normally, I would laugh at a nobody believes in us, I have a chip on my shoulder gimmick from a Super Bowl champion. In this case, it is incredibly valid. The Seahawks are on the short list for most disrespected Super Bowl champions of my lifetime. I think the Eli Giants are on that list twice. I think that the Von Miller, Peyton Manning Broncos are on that list. But it feels like the day after the Super Bowl, we started a new conversation about everybody but the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think
that.
I think people, you throw in Sam Darnold. I think a lot of people don't really understand like what makes them so good on defense, and I think that's definitely a thing. I'm kind of relieved to hear that from somebody outside of Seattle, right?
Does it make you feel like you're not being a homer?
Yeah, exactly. And look, I think I'm with him. That whole chip on the shoulder thing gets played up so much.
Yeah.
It's like nobody respects us. And it's like, yes, they do. But, yeah, I don't know.
Well, and I would say this. I think the players around the league respect the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah.
It's the talking heads. It's the experts that are saying the Rams are this team and the 49ers are this and whatever. That's who we're talking about. We're not talking about that. I don't know, Brock Purdy's over there going, Seahawks. Those guys know. The guys that are out there on the field know, right?
Yeah, no question. So, yeah, I mean, there is, the fact that they traded the edge rusher away for Myles Garrett. Huh?
Oh, you're talking about the Niners.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the Rams. Jared Verse.
Yeah.
He's still talking about hating the Seahawks, and and I don't think sometimes that's sort of it's a way of respecting a team by saying that you hate them. But
they're on your mind. He's not talking about the Cardinals.
Right. So, Cardinals didn't beat anybody in the division. So, I mean, I think that can kind of be played up. But like I said, I'm sort of relieved to hear it from somebody who's a national voice. And I'm not the only thing that bothers me. I don't think that they're being disrespected necessarily. But I do think that all of the hype for the Rams, a team that they beat, 2 out of 3 times, is now they were very close games, very close, all 3 of them. So, yeah, I mean, it was, a 16-point deficit.
Yeah.
With 6 minutes left. They had like a 1 in 172 chance of winning that Thursday night game. So I get why, and also they've made they've taken some big swings in free agency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I get that, but I don't mind it, and I think as long as you don't talk about it in the media as a player, and I just have always given players that advice that like just hold it inside of you and let it motivate you. Don't talk about it. Yes, exactly.
Let it burn.
You know all about that.
Oh, yeah. I fester on all kinds of things. Bill Barnwell, who we often hear from, said kind of the other side of this, said not crazy to think the Rams are the best team.
I don't think it's crazy to think that from either side. I think it's not crazy to think the Rams are the best team in football because of the upgrades they made. And I don't think it's crazy for Seahawks fans to say, hey, we beat them 2 out of 3. We won the Super Bowl in a dominant fashion against a really good Patriots team. We should be regarded as the best team in football until somebody beats us. So I do see both sides of this argument, but I'm just hoping one day one team gets the appropriate level of respect for what they accomplished.
Yeah, the one thing I disagree with him, he said that was a really good Patriot team.
We said it going in. The Super Bowl was that game against the Rams.
Yeah.
That was the Super. Those were the 2 best teams in the NFL facing off against each other, and the Seahawks won. Right. This one was just like, all right, let's go ahead and put some icing on this cake, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, their offense just was not a threat. So, yeah, but, I think, the way he puts it there, it is okay if you're a Seahawk fan to feel like you've been disrespected a little bit, and that's fine. And let's hear it when the Rams come to town.
I wonder if the player, I think as a player, it would be hard to avoid. You've talked about it even back when you were playing that, there was no internet and all that, but newspapers, what have you, and your friends would say, hey, did you see what this guy wrote about you? See what this guy wrote about you?
Yeah.
These days, I think it's impossible. Even if they say, I don't have a Twitter page. You still, I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Whether you're watching TV or not, just you're going to hear that this is who everybody thinks is great. Everybody thinks it's the Rams. Nobody's talking about you, man. So I think, is there any part of you that believes the players on this team are unaware of what's being said out there?
Yeah, I don't know. Some guys effectively. Who did we just talk to that was like, yeah, I don't really see anything. Then you got guys like Anthony Bradford that see everything.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of it is very harsh.
Very negative.
Very negative. So, yeah, I remember one time sitting in my locker and somebody told me something that was written about me, and I did not know, and I was like, thanks for being a good teammate, man, and keeping me filled in. Appreciate that.
Really puts me in a good headspace. Thanks. Maybe they thought that'd just make you play harder and angry or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get that kind of mentality, and that's like you said, friends in quotes, because. Yeah, I mean, the people that are, oh, you hear what he said about you? No, I don't. I purposely avoid that kind of thing.
When we have those conversations, I picture Brock Eward. Hey, did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
The antagonizer, the instigator.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, just poking. Oh, wow. Oh, did you hear what Wyman said? Oh, boy, wait till you hear this.
Yeah, and then he has his little giggle that goes along with that.
All right, coming up, how have the Seahawks avoided having a problem player? We'll tell you what we're talking about. Coming up next, it's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
This was a bad trip. Throw home, one hop to slide the tag. He is safe at home as the ball was dropped. 2 more runs.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take.
And they lose their grip on first place in the West.
Tonight, the Mariners are back home at T-Mobile in the first of 3 against the Angels.
Get back home and get ourselves on a roll and get going.
6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
And I'll tell you, there's one thing I do not miss, and that is carrying a pair of readers with me everywhere. I had them in every room of my home, had them in my car so I could bring them into restaurants to read menus, bring them into stores so I could read labels, and if I forgot them, it was just a giant pain. And I took action. I went to K2 Vision RLE for a refractive lens exchange, and it is a different world, and all of those glasses are now in drawers everywhere. So if you're like me and you're just done with readers, King LASIK K2 Vision could be your perfect and permanent solution. When you add those two together, by the way, you get freedom vision for every stage of life. LASIK and EVO ICL from King LASIK gives you freedom from glasses and contacts, and refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE adds extra freedom from readers and cataracts. So again, if you're just done with having reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE can be your perfect and permanent solution, and you'll never develop a cataract. With over 400,000 procedures, Doctors Kopstein and King are 2 of the most experienced vision correction surgeons in America. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors out there with all of the data to recommend the very best procedure for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today. Go to K2VisionRLE.com. King LASIK and K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last dent. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last dent. Accurate Auto Body.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility and the chance to make a real difference in your community. It's not just caring work, it's hard work. The kind of work that calls for empathy, patience, problem solving, reliability, and both physical and mental strength. It may be the hardest job you'll ever love. Right now, Washington faces a caregiver shortage, and your skills and your heart are needed more than ever. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB in this station.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Cascade Machinery and Electric is the Northwest's trusted industrial equipment expert, and they're hiring outside sales reps, manual and job shop machinists, and field service technicians now. Each position offers competitive pay, full benefits, and a career with a company that values hard work and loyalty. Come join the team that has set the standard in industrial sales and service for over 100 years. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers. Don't wait. Apply today.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up at 4 o'clock, Gary Hill Jr. will join us. Talk some Mariner baseball with him. Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. I've been fascinated by this Brandon Aiyuk story because I think he's the latest version of Antonio Brown, which is an idiot. He's a guy, the more I hear him talk, the more I look at him and go, what GM in this league would be willing to bring that element into their locker room? And he's just an unhinged, spoiled, entitled brat of a player who just seems like, man, he just would be toxic. And I'm just trying to put myself in the position of a 49er fan, which is never comfortable. But if this guy's on my team, and he released another video on Instagram and it was on YouTube where I can't even describe. It was 3.5 minutes of nonsense, and he's talking about John Lynch, and he won't mention his name. And we put together just a little edit of his 3.5 minutes here because there was a lot of cursing, and I don't know if you watched it, but
Brandon Aiyuk. You know what bothers me about it is that he went to high school in Reno, and he was born in Reno, Nevada.
Makes Reno look bad.
Yes, it does.
But here's a bit of what he had to say.
Oh, you thought I was done? Come here. General manager gonna pull up to my house. Oh, weirdo. Like, bro, don't pull up to my house uninvited, boy. So I'm looking at my camera, my front door camera. I see a big old white boy, white man, former NFL safety. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I don't know what he doing over there. He was not invited because I don't know what bro on. Weird. The same general manager that tried to run me down and come apologize for his head coach because his head coach got a temperament of a toddler. Come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. You just talking crazy because you know you could talk crazy.
I mean, it was just, it was 3.5 minutes. That was like the cleanest portions we could find. But he won't say Lynch's name. He won't say Shanahan's name.
What do you call him? A clown or something like that? Or
no, he's just like big old white boy showing up at my house. Come on, man.
I was talking about Kyle.
Oh, he's saying he had the temperament of a toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any mirrors in your home, Brandon? I'm just looking at this going, man, and we've seen this story. I brought up Antonio Brown to a lesser extent, A.J. Brown. We've Terrell Owens. We've just seen it through the years, to varying degrees, certainly. We haven't seen that with the Seahawks. And I'm wondering why, and everybody I just listed is a wide receiver, by the way. But the closest we've come by a fan's estimation, Dave, is DK. And I say fans' estimation because they viewed him as something similar to this.
Yeah.
He was nothing like this. You never saw DK publicly come out and rip the organization, rip John Schneider, rip Pete Carroll, rip Mike McDonald. Never. And we never once heard even behind the scenes, hey, man, he's pissed about targets. He's pissed about this, that, or the other. I mean, it was...
Yeah, he never complained about not getting the ball.
No. So, he was he emotional? Yeah. Would he get penalties because he was taking it out on the other team? He wasn't screaming at... he had the one instance when he was on the phone with the coordinator that got released after 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
Blanking on his name. But obviously he was not the only one who had a problem with him.
Grubb.
With Grubb.
Ryan Grubb.
And, Tyler had a problem. But the Seahawks really, even in the days of Sherm and Michael Bennett and Earl Thomas, I mean, I think you were more likely to have somebody like this under Pete. And that's not a knock on Pete. Pete was always about second chances and embracing people.
Yeah.
Let you be you. Whatever makes you work, Dave. You do that. So he'd kind of toe the line. He'd bring in some guy. He brought in Terrell Owens. He brought in Kellen Winslow Jr. He brought in Lendale White. He brought in people that...
Yeah. Well, and he brought in Marshawn Lynch, too. I mean, there's a lot of teams that would not have taken him based on what was going on with him at that point. So,
but do you think it's a culture thing that's been established here that even if somebody has that element to their personality, when they come into this building, that somehow they see that doesn't work here?
Yeah.
And even more so under Mike McDonald and John Schneider. Or is it more that John and whoever everybody he works with, scouts and everybody, they're just more adept at avoiding that kind of personality, whether it's a wide receiver or any other position?
Yeah, no, I think that's 100% that, because remember when we talked to Eric Kennedy, the equipment manager, and he just went on and on and on about Jake Bobo.
Yeah.
Jake Bobo does not light the world on fire, as, and look, maybe he needs to get more targets. I don't know. But, that's the kind of guy that they love having here. And a guy like Brandon Aiyuk, and you're right about DK. I mean, I just remember every time talking to him down on the field, it was like, yes, sir. And, he had a father that played in the NFL, so he kind of got it. So, yeah, I mean, there were some temper tantrums at practice one time where I think he swung a helmet at Trey Brown.
Yeah, they got in a fight.
Yeah. And but other than that, no, it was always something against, he was always trying to kind of aggravate whoever he was playing against. And I don't know, as long as it doesn't hurt the team, but this is, and they also have that Lenore guy, which is he's definitely
Commodore Lenore.
Yeah. So, yeah,
But I don't know if he's a bad teammate. I don't know if he's a problem in the locker room, the way I look at this guy going, if I'm a member of that team, if I'm a fan of that team, I'm like, get him the hell out of here. I don't want him anywhere. He's making it clear he won't even say the name of the team. He's holding up a football with the Commanders logo on it. I'm not showing up to any games at that stadium except for this day when the Commanders come into town. I mean, just weird. He's just, for him to put all of that out there so publicly and just – I'm just going, we haven't had that episode. We haven't had that experience with a Seahawks player.
No. And that's because of John Schneider. I mean, he is the fourth longest tenured GM going back to 2010. And because you got Jerry Jones ahead of him and Mickey Loomis and Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else. But, yeah, I mean, that's why John has had so much success here because, you get a guy like this. I mean, he's wonderfully talented, right? But he's an idiot. So, yeah, you can't have those guys on your team. I was just looking at his numbers. He only played in 7 games last year.
He just signed a huge contract.
But yeah, he's making,
I think, in 24.
It's like $30 million a year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see them bringing him back or, I don't know if they're going to trade him away or what, but
who's going to trade? I mean, what GM in their right mind, even if you need a wide receiver and you're looking at this guy who's coming off a torn ACL and MCL, so we don't really know what kind of damage that does to his game overall, but you couple that with his personality and his willingness to throw the entire organization under the bus in a way that he's doing now, where he's like, who's this guy showing up at my place? Like what? So what are you going to beat him up? Yeah. What are you doing? You just uninvited, weird.
I find it hard to believe that John Lynch would show up without telling him that he's going. Did he maybe
so what
set
if he
him
did?
up or something?
So what if he did? Hey, I was stopping by. I wanted to see if you're home. Wanted to chat.
Yeah.
So?
Yeah, that's not like a problem.
Yeah,
right?
sorry, I knocked.
Rude.
You weren't there. Sorry, it's not like you came and TP'd your house, man. What do you? I mean, it's just weird. I'm just fascinated by this, and I'm looking around the league, going, all right, who's going to be the dope? Who's going to be the one that brings this guy in and says, oh, we can make him a productive player and no problems in the locker room here.
There's a lot of coaches that think they can do that. Chuck kind of had that Godfather complex, where he could bring somebody in and turn them around, and every once in a while you'd get a guy that did not work out. But you and I did that video last week about the 49ers and bringing back the hate there. So
hope he stays there.
Yeah, me too.
And creates a mess.
Yeah.
I hope he just creates a mess there. They can't get rid of him. They just have to cut him and eat all the money, whatever. I just hope it turns out poorly for them. Yeah. Meanwhile, time to get you ready for the Mariners series against the visiting Angels. Gary Hill Jr. will join us next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The Mariners have now scored 3 runs or fewer in 11 consecutive games. So what's the deal?
Yeah, you don't have a Mariner on pace to hit 30 home runs. A lot of frustration on that overnight text away. Why there's a lot of frustration in the socials.
Because you know that as bad as and as bleak as things are today, the sun will come out tomorrow, if you'll excuse the Annie reference.
Sun will come out tomorrow.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Dealing with divorce and custody issues can be terrifying and very lonely, but you don't need to face it alone. Goldberg Jones has been helping Northwest husbands and fathers for more than 30 years. Thousands of men have put their trust in us. You can too. Learn more at goldbergjones.com.
Olympic Hot Tub's mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Get ready to rock. It's Hoobastank, delivering their high-energy sounds at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Friday, July 31st at 8 p.m. Along with Eve 6. It's 2 incredible bands on one unforgettable night. Hoobastank and Eve 6 at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on July 31st. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Summer is here, and it's time to break through your weight loss frustrations. Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and we have a proven system that can help you lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Whether you need a nutrition plan to complement your GLP injections, or you're like many of our clients who don't want to worry about ongoing monthly costs, giving yourself shots, or uncomfortable side effects. Either way, our program provides the support, accountability, and structured nutrition plan so you can achieve your results for the long term. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Look, this plan does work. It's Mike Salk here, and I used Eastside Weight Loss Clinic to lose 35 pounds. Just recently, I heard about one of our listeners who lost 40 pounds. How about that? The plan will teach you lifelong habits to continue eating the food you love while losing weight.
We've helped over 4,000 people lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do the program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
June is Men's Health Month, and Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Swedish Cyberknife can effectively treat conditions like prostate cancer, which can run in the family. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatments, each lasting less than an hour. To learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Still planning your summer vacation? Tired of airports and long drives? Anacortes Yacht Charters has a better option. Cruise the San Juan Islands aboard a fully equipped yacht. Take the helm of a bareboat charter or hire a skipper to explore on your terms. Quiet coves, lively harbors, no schedules. Just a tide guide and a sense of adventure. With a fleet of 50 powerboats and sailboats, AYC has options for groups large and small, from beginner to old salt. Start your San Juan adventure at ayc.com/KIRO.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners looking to get right and do that at the expense of the Angels, who are in town for a 3-game series. Game 1 coming your way tonight. They send George Kirby to the hill. The Mariners will be facing off against Angel starter Ryan Johnson, who is 1-2 with an 8.84 ERA. That's somebody you should punish. Hopefully that's what we see tonight. You'll get the pregame show starting at 5:30 right here, Seattle Sports on 710, 6:40 first pitch. Other games going on right now. They're in the bottom of the second in Baltimore. Orioles out to a 1-0 lead over the White Sox. Top of the second in Philadelphia. The Phillies out to a 2-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Well, we're all trying to find answers for this Mariners team that come off of a road trip that was less than pleasing. And
the man that has all the answers is right here with us.
Well, we don't know if he's got them, but we're going to demand answers. That's for sure.
You might have contacted the wrong person. But, let's talk this out. Let's see what happens.
Well, Gary Hill Jr. is with us. You know him from the Mariners broadcast. Does a great job on the broadcast. Good to talk to you, Gary. Welcome back home.
It's great to be home. That felt like a very long trip, so I'm very happy to be back here.
Hey, did you go to the Parker household there in Cleveland? Ralphie Christmas Story.
Oh, you know what's funny about that is
what do we got there?
I don't know. This isn't me. I don't know what's happening. Gosh. I can't explain.
Is that a young Matt Johnson?
Matt Nelson.
Matt Nelson, I mean.
Oh, that's weird. It looks like it is. I don't know where that came from. Yeah.
Gary, your iPad appears to be haunted. You should punch it.
I don't know what's going on.
The beginning of Matt's baseball career right there.
Yeah, our booth is haunted.
The beginning and the end. I was one season and out.
That's so good. I've run by that house. That is a real thing. The Christmas Story house.
Yeah.
It looks exactly how it does in the movie. They have a museum across the street, and they have that lamp in the front window that you can
the leg lamp.
Go visit. Yeah, the leg lamp.
It was fragile.
Did you see Scott Farkas there anywhere?
Yeah. And the Bumpuses the next door with all the dogs?
Yeah. They're just all wandering around. It's the whole block. It's like you've just stepped into the movie. And it's always snowing for some reason. It's weird, even in the summer.
That's awesome. That is so cool. Well, what do we make of what we saw there, Gary? There's a lot of hand-wringing going on, a lot of fingers being pointed right now in all directions. Fire this guy, cut DFA this guy. You know how it goes. But I can't blame fans for being disappointed. I'm one of them. I was screaming at the TV, and I don't. Let's start with the offense. Let's start with a team that just tied a franchise record for scoring 3 runs or fewer in 13 consecutive games. And you're looking at the lineup, you look at the names, you're going, how is that possible? This franchise has had some really poor offenses in the past, but this group with Cal and Julio and Randy and Naylor, this is the group that tied that mark, and it just speaks to the inconsistency and futility in some cases. How do you explain what we've seen offensively with this team?
Yeah, and that's where the frustration comes from for all of us, and players included, and front office and coaching staff, everyone. It's because we all had the same expectations coming into the season, and so far those expectations have not been met, and it's been a frustrating first half of the season so far. And when I look at the offense, especially the past month, it's pretty simple for me. They're not slugging. They're not hitting home runs. They are towards the bottom in baseball and slugging percentage, and thus they're towards the bottom in baseball and runs scored in this past month. And in fact, you look at the season total, they're towards the bottom in slugging percentage. They were above 500 in May. In May, they were towards the middle of the pack in slugging, and their runs scored were towards the middle of the pack as well. And given the rotation, that's enough for them to have a winning month, be a winning team. But for me, when you look at what's going on, they're just not slugging. And when you look at, okay, what's going on there, you need your stars to be stars. And right now, that's just not happening.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard some of the sound from Cal Raleigh, Gary, but yeah, it was. What did you make of that? And it just sounds like total frustration from him.
Yeah, because they look around too, just like Bob mentioned a moment ago, that they see the talent around there. They know the season they had last year. They know the expectations this year, and they know they're a better team than how they've been playing. We also know, given what we've seen the last few years, we've seen the Mariners go through stretches like this where they've really struggled, they haven't played well, and then it turns around like that in the blink of an eye. And so at this point, I think that's what you're hoping for, because they're still dealing with some stuff in terms of injury, like Rayleigh's not going to play today. They still have some stuff they're working through. Canzone's in the lineup, which is great, but still dealing with his hamstring situation. But for the most part, this is as healthy as they've been in a while. So what you're hoping for is the health continues, and the guys that have been out find their timing, Cal in particular, because with Cal, he's such a big part to what they want to do. And it's hard to imagine them achieving their goals without Cal being the Cal we expected. And we didn't expect 60 home runs. That's a big ask. But, hey, what kind of second half can he have? 20 home runs, 25 home runs? In terms of slug, that'd make a huge difference for the Mariners. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about as the Mariners head into this series with the Angels. Hey, what's happened has happened. Can you win a series right now and then take it from there?
Yeah, they go up against a guy who's coming in with an ERA just a shade under 9, Gary. And I see. I don't know how they've been using him. I see a lot of 2 innings, 3 innings on the season. So I don't know if he's just been an opener or long relief or what his role has been with his team. But having said that, what I don't want to see is what I feel like happens a lot with this team. They'll face a guy whose numbers tell you he's not having a good year. He's not been good. And all of a sudden he faces the Mariners and they just get shut down. If that happens, there'll be no tipping of the cap. There'll be, hey, I'll tell you that breaking ball. No. I don't want to hear a word about what the guy was dealing because the numbers tell you everybody else is having their way with him. And so this is where you start to get well, right? This is a team and more specifically a pitcher that you look at and say, all right, this is where you turn the page right here.
Well, I will say not everyone has had their way. Last start against Baltimore, he went 6 scoreless innings on 1 hit. So his last start, he was pretty good. So I don't know if he found something out, figured something out, or if it was just a one-off. We'll find that out, too. He's a talented guy. He actually went straight to the majors last year when he was drafted. He skipped minors altogether. Mm-hmm. He went straight to the majors, which is something the Angels do. They push their guys pretty fast. He didn't last that long. He started the year in the bullpen. And started this year in the bullpen as well. So I'm kind of curious what we're going to see from him as well. And then Soriano starts tomorrow, who has really good stuff. But overall, when you talk about Angels pitching, this is a staff to take advantage of offensively. And, I look at that last road trip between Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and I think it's really difficult when you look at a scuffling team, as we know they were offensively. Yet they did face some really good stuff when it comes to starters, and they're not going to face that kind of stuff consistently on this homestand. So, yeah, I would look at this series to kind of take advantage of. Hit some homers, score some runs, give yourself a little breathing room, that sort of thing. Win a series, win a couple series.
Hey, Gary, going into the weekend, we talked a lot about Rob Refsnyder, him and also Luis Castillo, and the kind of sentiment was that, you want to see him either be really extremely good or bad, just so you can make a decision. What do you think the weekend? I feel like with Luis Castillo's outing that muddies the water even more, right? As a starter, only giving up 1 earned run, but I don't know how you feel about him right now, but how about Refsnyder as well?
Well, the Refsnyder question was kind of answered today. He's going on the IL. So Refsnyder, he's been dealing with some knee injuries for a while. He had some shots last week, according to Justin Hollander. So he's going to go on the IL. So we'll see how long that lasts. And you hope what we've seen so far with the struggles, and because he's a guy that, as we've talked about, he's been a productive player, especially against lefties, the last number of years. He hasn't so far this year. How much of it has been this injury? I don't know. Hopefully he gets healthy, and then we'll find out when he comes back. So
yeah, that's kind of the frustrating thing, right? Is that like a lot of those things, a guy's going through, tightness or whatever, we don't usually hear about that until after, right? So.
Because guys don't want to use it as an excuse, and I totally get that. So it's the kind of thing we usually don't hear about until they go on the IL, or if they play through it for the season, we hear about it in the offseason when a guy has surgery or something like that. It is the brutal part of the game. It's the everyday nature of it. I mean, it's really hard to heal when you have bumps and bruises, but you just got to play through it. And sometimes it's more than bumps and bruises, right? Pulled hammies, things like that. It's not easy, but that's the brutal part of the game. That's the nature of the game that you have to play through. And it's not just the Mariners that go through this as well. We look at other teams around baseball right now dealing with the same thing. You look at the A's today. They just put 2 of their core guys on the IL. It's something that most everyone has to deal with during the course of the season. And for the Mariners, as we kind of look at this play out, you just hope you can get everyone healthy at the same time, which it feels like has not happened this year, and then go on a run at some point. And in terms of Castillo, you look at his last 8 starts now, he has an ERA, 3.25, something along those lines. For the most part, he's been really good. And some of that has been as a starter, some of that has been in the piggyback situation. But I know his overall numbers still don't look amazing, but you focus in on what he's done lately. He's been a good pitcher. He's been a good starter for the Mariners. And I know Cleveland's offense, especially without Ramirez, isn't the same. But, they scored 4 on Logan the next day, right? And Logan's been one of the best pitchers in baseball the past month. So I don't think that takes away from Castillo going 6 innings and just giving up 1 to Cleveland. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
What do you see happening with this rotation post All-Star break? Because we made such a big deal of the comments. All right, they got a plan. We got 3 piggyback starts. The first one's going to be Miller and Castillo. We saw that. Then all the other starters are going to have their turn. Then it felt like almost last minute, nah, we're not going to do that. Logan's got his start. Emerson's got his start. We've got this many games in this many days. I don't know if you call that a fluid plan, maybe not such a set in concrete kind of plan, but we were talking to Ryan Rowland-Smith saying, well, does that mess with your head as a starter? You're prepping, you're doing interviews. Logan's on this station talking about the piggyback, all that, and then almost kind of last minute, like, nah, you're going to do this. Like, he talked about that can mess with the guy, when you're preparing for one thing and then something else gets thrown in your lap. So I don't know. What do you see being the optimal plan, and do you see them just at some point going, look, we're just going to have to make the hard choice here and get back to our 5-man rotation, and somebody's going to be pissed?
I think that could come at some point. And for me, it's all about context of where they're at in the season. Are they up in the division by 6 games? Are they chasing somebody in the division by 2? Are they still kind of scuffling around 500? Because at some point, you'll get to a spot where maybe you just got to roll out your best 5 consistently for a few weeks to try and grab a playoff spot. So that's kind of how I look at it. I think it's going to be all about the situation that the Mariners will be looking at starting, I think after the All-Star break, when they start to make decisions like that, because you have the All-Star break, you have the trade deadline after that. Who knows what happens at the trade deadline as well? That could answer some questions depending on what goes down near the deadline. And then you have the push for the postseason in August and September. So I think fluid is the right word. I think it's still that. And because it is a very unique situation still, because you ask yourself, because I don't have the answer. I don't know the best way to handle this situation. You have 6 quality starters that all belong in a rotation. And if you were to knock one out, who would it be? Castillo's been pretty good. Is it him? I mean, he's been one of your better guys the last couple of turns. So I don't know. I think it's a tough situation, although a tough situation in that you have 6 good starters, which most teams would love to have that issue. But, yeah, I just don't think it's a clear-cut situation. But I think those questions are going to be answered depending on the situation as we move past the All-Star break and into the trade deadline.
Gary, we've been talking about, and a lot of people texting in about how it doesn't look like they have any urgency, and and I'm sure everybody's playing as hard as they possibly can. But the one guy, Victor Robles, and what are the? I mean, I love his energy. You watch him yesterday, steal a couple bags in a row, and he just, I don't know, he lays down the bunt. I mean, he just seems like he needs to be an everyday player. At least that's what a lot of people are saying. But what are some of the reasons why he's not?
Oh, well, first of all, I would say one of the tried and true things about baseball is you always look like you don't have energy when you're not hitting and not scoring runs, because it just doesn't look great. It's not a fun watch because nothing's happening. You don't have guys on base. You're not running around. It just looks bad. So I get where people are coming from, but it's not because of a lack of effort or a lack of trying or a lack of energy. It's just when you're not hitting and not scoring, which they've just gone on a streak where they've scored 3 or fewer in 13 straight games, right? So that's been the situation. So, and that's every team in baseball, whether they're talking about the Mariners or the Cardinals or whoever. If you go through their stretch, you're not hitting, it doesn't look great. I think Robles is going to have a chance here the next couple of games. I don't anticipate Raleigh's going to be in the lineup. He's not in there today. I don't think he'll be in there in the next couple of days. So he will have an opportunity to play himself into an everyday role because, hey, the Mariners are in a situation where if you hit, you're going to play. That's the bottom line. And they'll find a spot for you. So if you're Robles, if you're somebody else, if you're productive, you're going to find your way in the lineup, as he was, when the Mariners first traded for him a couple of years ago. He went on that big surge and played great and was a big part of things. And who knows, maybe he could play himself into that kind of role again this year where he's an everyday guy in the outfield. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, he's the guy I've been saying before, even Ref Snyder and the knee issue you brought up. He should never be behind Ref Snyder. You've seen enough of what Ref Snyder's not been able to do this year. And when Dan's looking for a right-handed pop off the bench, just somebody just to get on base, somebody makes something happen. I can't imagine a world in which Ref Snyder should be the name you call ahead of Robles at this point. I mean, we're beyond the halfway mark, and I know you talked about him going to the IL and everything, but even when he's healthy, it just hasn't been there for whatever reason, and it's not a personal shot at him. It just, for whatever reason, has not worked. Yet we saw, a few games ago, they loaded the bases 3 times, and the third time they pinch hit Raleigh, who had just hit a lefty earlier in the game, and they bring in Ref Snyder, and Robles was brought in as a defensive replacement in that same game. It's moves like that, Gary, where Dan will take a lot of heat, and those are the moments where I go, you know what? It's a fair question. It's fair to ask, what are you thinking in that situation?
Sure. And anytime moves like that don't work, I mean, that's the bottom line. When they don't work, it doesn't look great, and questions get asked. So, which I totally understand. I would say in that particular scenario, there was a big there's a big chasm between the stuff between the two lefties. So I think that played part of it. The second lefty they brought out was blowing 98 miles per hour. So a little different scenario. So I understand in that situation why they went to a righty. And then we can argue from there, hey, which righty should you have gone to? And, they've given Ref Snyder the chance to try and be the guy that he's been, and it hasn't worked out. So we'll see. We'll see after he gets healthy if he gets some chances again and maybe prove himself that he is still that same guy when he's healthy.
Hey, the two young fellas, let's talk about something positive. Colt and Cole. By the way, what do we have? CO2?
CO2.
CO2 was going to be the nickname for those two guys. We were soliciting texters for nicknames for those guys, but
that's what we landed on.
Yeah. Well, it was the best one.
It was the best one.
If you can come up with something better, Gary, we'd appreciate it.
I have no chance. So, yeah.
No, I mean, those guys that has been such, and amidst all of this, there's lots of negativity right now. At least I'm getting lots of texts from friends and whatnot. And I'm like, I don't have the answer. I'm like, text me during the Seahawks season. Okay, I might have some answers there. But no, those two guys have really just been, quietly, really, really good this year and, beyond expectations, it seems like. How fun's that been?
Yeah, it's been good because those are two guys you look ahead that you think will be part of this thing for a long time. And they could be your middle infield for the next how many years? 8 years? Who knows? And it's fun to think about what that could look like in terms of, I don't know, playoff games and all-star appearances and all those sorts of things as a middle infield together. But they've both shown glimpses that they can really play at this level. And for me, Cole Young has just been super steady all season. Yep. In a year where they've had a lot of injuries and guys in and out of the lineup, he has played every single day. And part of that has been they've needed him there every single day because he's been super solid defensively at second base. That's the one thing where it's really stood out. The leap that he's made from last year to this year as a defender has been very impressive. And we've seen stretches, as you see with any young player, there's been ups and downs offensively, but he's certainly had his moments, especially in big spots, which has been great to see. And I think there's a lot to build on moving forward. And for Emerson, it's been super exciting. Just 20 years old, which I don't have high expectations for any 20-year-old, right? Breaking into the majors for the first time, but the power to me has been especially surprising, especially at this age. Just, the home runs, the slug has been really impressive, and it makes you dream on what that can look like when you're talking about a 22-year-old, 23, 24, 25, what that could look like as a really good defensive shortstop with that kind of power. That's a rare combo.
Yeah, Cole Young's a guy we were talking about before, Gary, where I was like, I don't want to put the cart before the horse here. We'll see what he turns into, but it just feels like we're potentially watching something they haven't had at second base for a long time, and that's a long-term answer there. You've had great player. Cano was a great player. Harold Reynolds. You've had Julio Cruz, if you want to go back that far. Brett Boone, but maybe that it feels like left field and second base for this team. Yes. You don't have those guys that you automatically go, oh, he was the greatest second baseman in the history of this organization, greatest left fielder. Those have been the two, I guess, troublesome spots, if you will. And he feels like we could be watching that guy develop here.
Yeah, it's funny to think about, too. I think about left field all the time because in center field and right field, the Mariners, for the most part,
legends.
Yeah, there was Ichiro and Buhner in right field alone, years and years and years.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone from Lee Tinsley to Mike Felder to Eric Anthony. I mean, name your left fielder next to those guys through all those years. I mean, yeah.
McLemore.
Yes. If you get the question I always ask is, who is the third best left fielder in Mariners history? Because I think you got Ibanez and I think you have Phil Bradley. Give me the next one. And it may be Randy Arozarena. No joke. I think it may be.
Aoki.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's it. But you're right. And second base is a similar kind of story in Mariners history. But I think you're right. It feels like, hey, he could be the answer for a long, long time at that position, which is, it's fun to think about when you think about this Mariners team moving forward. As frustrating as it is right now for the Mariners, and it is, but you think about how they're positioned moving forward with their rotation, and not only the guys currently, but Anderson and Sloan on the way at some point, sooner rather than later. Cal is the catcher there for the long term. The middle infield there for the long term. We haven't had a long stretch like this in Mariners history where not only are they a good team now and in the past few years making playoff runs, but also set up for the next few years as well.
Yeah.
Gary, I think you accomplished something. Matt is probably never going to ask you to come back on the show. There we go. Matt Nelson.
Look at that.
My hands are clean on this one. I haven't done a thing.
I thought we were friends, Gary. I thought we were friends,
I'm not doing
and this is hurt.
My hands are here.
A cruel thing that you're doing.
I'm not. This was not me.
I recognize the hand of the person that's doing it, and don't worry, he'll get what's coming to him.
Oh, yes, revenge.
Oh, I like it.
Let me know if you want me involved in the revenge, because I like being the middleman in between all these station fights.
He's an instigator.
I'm happy to facilitate all the arguments and the revenge plots. Yes, I'm happy to be the one.
This needs to stop. Lefko, put it down.
Oh, so good. All right, Gary, we appreciate you, man.
Anytime, guys.
There you go. There's Gary Hill Jr. live from T-Mobile Park with a floating Matt Nelson Little League picture for those of you watching on the video stream. All right. If you guys missed any part of that, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, how much longer will we have to keep talking about the whole piggyback situation? We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
This was a bad trip.
Throw home, one hop, the slide, the tag. He is safe at home as the ball was dropped. 2 more runs.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take.
And they lose their grip on first place in the West.
Tonight, the Mariners are back home at T-Mobile in the first of 3 against the Angels.
Get back home and get ourselves on a roll and get going.
6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Oh, it's that time of year. I look forward to summer each and every year. It means motorcycle weather. Love getting out on the bike, and all my more experienced riding friends tell me it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident. Hopefully that never happens to you. It hasn't happened for me, but it's good to know I've got somebody like Law Tigers in my corner if something goes wrong. Law Tigers was born from a passion for the open road. Over 25 years ago, they saw something every rider knows. They saw a community that has each other's backs. Now they are built by riders for riders, protecting what matters most, your freedom, your family, and the ride. So if you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, give these guys a call. They're going to help you get your gear and your bike repaired or replaced because they know how much that stuff means to you. Give them a call at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com because every ride you take, your freedom could be on the line. The Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Your neighbors at Three Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. Three Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks to Gary Hill Jr. joined us in the previous segment. In case you guys are just tuning in and missed that conversation, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Just click the podcast tab, click on our picture. It'll be right there waiting for you. And don't forget to click subscribe. It's totally free. And then it just shows up for you every day. It's beautiful.
Or you can click on Matt's picture. Maybe Matt's picture will be clickable.
See,
Maybe
Matt?
we should put that as a way to get to our podcast.
Okay, Dave, I tell you what. You tell me how we would use that picture to get to our podcast, and I'll make it happen.
Just put a link to it.
Oh, okay. Just put a link on that picture.
There you go. Yeah.
And that'll do it.
Glue it on.
The classic picture link.
Will people be able to go back and watch that previous segment?
No, I'm going to kill Trevor, so he won't be able to upload the video, unfortunately.
Yeah, because during that conversation with Gary Hill, there was a floating iPad with Matt's Little League picture from a baseball card. They make them for Little Leaguers.
Sure they do.
We had Matt's making its debut on this show, on the video, I think thanks to look like Lefko's thumb.
It did look like
Thumb's thumb.
Thumb's thumb. Yeah, it just looked twitchy and nervous, so it was him. But yeah, it was a good picture though.
His thumb looked twitchy and nervous. Yeah.
Oh, I kid. We love Lefko. Well, Matt, not so much right now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Matt's not a big Lefko fan right now.
No.
For various reasons. This week,
that was
more
true
than
even
normal.
before the picture made its way.
It was funny because coming in, Matt was all happy because he knew that Lefko wasn't going to be in the booth with him, and
yet here we are.
There we are.
Even on our Lefko list days.
Yeah.
Lefko.
He's still there. Lefko. Thumb. Meanwhile, we talked to Gary about the whole piggyback situation, and we also talked about it with Ryan Rowland-Smith, which I thought was interesting to get a pitcher's perspective on this. Because we saw this situation where, again, a couple of weeks ago, we had the plan in place. We heard from Justin Hollander. We heard from Dan. We heard from Mary. Here's the plan. We're going to have 3 more through the All-Star break. It's going to incorporate everybody. And then you had the first one, which was what we had seen in the first 3, which was Miller and Castillo. And then the other starters were going to be involved in the final 2 piggyback situations. But then we get to the next one was supposed to happen with Logan Gilbert and Emerson Hancock, and then it wasn't game time, but it just felt like last minute, like, we're not going to we're scrapping that.
Yeah. I think that's where there's a lot of frustration from fans, and at least, the texters and, our guy Greg and anybody that's, I'm sure Moyer, I doubt Moyer has any kind of an opinion at all.
No, he doesn't really care about stuff.
No. But, he'll have lots to say. He'll have lots to say. But, yeah, I think that's the thing that bothers people the most is that, and it kind of falls on Dan, because, they looked like they were dedicated to that. And, okay, this is the plan, and we're sticking to it. And then,
they had meetings with all the guys.
Yeah.
What would you, to go to those lengths and, meet with all the starters, and what would you, 6-man? No, we don't like that. A piggyback? Okay, well, we all are on the same page. Logan's doing interviews, talking about it. Everybody's prepared.
Yeah.
And then it changes. And Ryan said for his part as a pitcher, that can mess with you. You're so just routine-oriented as a pitcher that, the whole extra day off of the 6-man is not what he says. Fans look at it and go, well, you get extra day off. It's got to be great. And he's, no. These guys are built into the routines. It's whether some of them have a superstitious element to it or not, it's just they're married to their routines. And when that gets disrupted, whether you think it's weak or not, it can have an impact. And when you've been preparing for this piggyback situation, if you're Logan Gilbert and Emerson Hancock, and then sort of last minute, they're like, you know what, guys, change of direction. We're going to go ahead and just treat it like a normal start, and you're just in a different mental space, I would imagine, at some point.
Yeah, look, ultimately, it's their decision to make, and they're the baseball guys. So, I feel like it's really none of our business. But, that I think they truly believe that they're doing what, what's best for the team. But I think for times where, you lose a game like you did yesterday, you start to go, well, wait a minute. They don't really have a plan here. So and that's where I think a lot of the complaints come in anyway. But like I said, ultimately, I think it's they're trying to do the best thing that's best for the team. But you do hear that, and it's easy to kind of go, quit being such a pitcher, quit being pitcherish, as Cal said. But that does, I remember Ryan Rowland-Smith from the very beginning. He's like, this isn't going to be good for anybody.
Yeah.
So, that's where we're at, and it's fine if you're winning. But, if you have 13 games in a row where you don't get, more than 3 runs, that's where it starts to all of a sudden go, okay, everything's screwed up, everything's messed up, and, when are we going to get out of this?
Yeah, I'm wondering, I think it's harder to relate to football because maybe you're not so married to routine the way a pitcher is. But if a coach is telling you, Dave, here's what we're doing on third downs. This is our new plan. It's going to be you and this guy are going to do this, that, and the other. And that's your mentality going in, and maybe the day before the game. Dave, all that, scrap it. we're going to go back to this? Are you thinking, all right, or are you thinking, dude, make up your mind. I've been preparing for this one way all week, and now you're telling me, scrap that, we're going to do this.
Yeah, well, I got benched because of that one time in Cleveland, because in the middle of the game, we had some technique where we were supposed to play the backside of the block. So instead of going over the top, you had to sit behind it, and they were just gashing us, and I got benched. And they put in a linebacker named Darren Miller. I'll never forget this. He gets in the game about the second series. He drops the wrong way in a coverage and gets an interception. And so they're like, oh, he's the hero. But then they looked at film and everything, and then I remember Tom going, hey, if you want to blame me for this, fine. But, you got your job back. That was our fault. It didn't work out. We thought it was going to work. It didn't work. So, you're the starter again. So, yeah, I mean, that kind of thing. I was just relieved that I, got benched for,
something wasn't your fault.
Something wasn't, wasn't my fault. So, yeah, I mean, I think I get that. And, yeah, we worked all week working that defense against Cleveland. And, yeah, all of a sudden you execute it, and they start gashing you, and you get yanked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, and I think baseball is much more, about ritual, especially when it comes to pitchers, right?
Yeah. So it's hard. Look, the basic statement on the whole thing is it just looks like you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
That's what it looks like. It looks like you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants going, yeah, let's do the pick. Nah, you know what? We got this many games coming up in this many days. Let's do this. Let's go 6-man. And now that's going to throw it off with a day off in the middle of the week, and somebody's going to get this extra day. Does that extra day off throw them off of their routine? It's just a trickle-down effect, and it makes it feel like it's sort of haphazard the way that it's – not saying that. I'm sure they have a plan in place behind the scenes and communicated that, but from the outside you're looking at it going, it seems kind of spur of the moment, sort of just like, oh, yeah, we were going to do that. Nah, we're not going to do it now.
Yeah.
Especially since it's been such a huge talking point. So we'll see what it means moving forward, how committed to it. Are they going to do the next one or beyond the All-Star break? Or what's going to shake out with this? Meanwhile, every player has his welcome to the NFL moment, like Dave getting knocked out by Joe Namath in Super Bowl III. we hear crazy.
Wow, I didn't realize I was that old.
We hear Gray Zabel's welcome to the NFL moment next when we sweep the dial. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The Mariners have now scored 3 runs or fewer in 11 consecutive games. So what's the deal?
Yeah, you don't have a Mariner on pace to hit 30 home runs. A lot of frustration on that overnight text away. Why there's a lot of frustration in the socials.
Because you know that as bad as and as bleak as things are today, the sun will come out tomorrow, if you'll excuse the Annie reference.
Come out tomorrow.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, are you somebody that's been dealing with an injury, you're in pain and tried everything, and maybe you're looking at surgery now or joint replacement? Well, before you do that, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. That's what I did. I had a problematic hip that had been bothering me for years. After 14 years of sparring and jiu-jitsu, I had a torn labrum. I had a tendon that was frayed. I had arthritis developing. Bursa sac was inflamed. I was getting steroid injections. It was a mess. I thought I was looking at surgery until I remembered all the testimonials, hearing patients talking to Dave Wyman about their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner, who is the most experienced in the Northwest. And I tell you what, he changed my life. It's now no longer conversations about surgery. That is out the window. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, and he only uses your own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in your own joint. So people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back to doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
These days, everyday savings add up. Get more for your restaurant, food truck, or big event at Chef Store with warehouse savings on the food and supplies you use most. No membership required. Plus, we're open to the public. Visit Chef Store today.
Olympic Hot Tub's mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Refresh your yard this summer with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. Choose your power starting at $99 with tools from trusted names like Ryobi and Milwaukee. From backyard get-togethers to end-of-summer upgrades, 4th of July savings on cordless tools deliver the power and mobility to keep up with every job without slowing you down. Power on the go is here, and summer projects are easier than ever with the Home Depot. While supplies last, see store or online for details.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best. Why Seattle and Seattle sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. That's woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Archie Manning wasn't a fan of how his grandson was crowned before even starting a game at Texas.
I was kind of disappointed in a lot of people. The whole thing, they kind of crowned Arch before he ever played, and I just didn't think that was fair. Yeah, it was a little tough start. Played a great team, and anyway, but I've never been more proud of anybody in my life is the way Arch battled through what he had to go through last year and the way he played, the last 8 or 9 games of the season.
It had to be tough for him. I know everybody looks at him and says he's royalty. He's got the Manning last name. He's getting opportunities others wouldn't, and maybe a lot of that's true. And I'm sure he's making a pretty good chunk of NIL money as well. But you live with that pressure of living up to your grandfather, your uncles. It's just. That's a heavy name to carry, and for him to be named the starter right out of the gates and all that, and the expectations, and the second you don't shine, people are going to go, fraud. He's only there because his last name's Manning. It's a little different spotlight on the kid like that. Still a kid.
Well, it's interesting to hear that from Archie, because that's just how football players think. It's like you don't want to be crowned before you've ever done anything. Remember Darnold, keep bringing this up about not wanting to throw out the first pitch.
For Adams thing,
Yeah, so, it's nice. He's getting plenty of good advice, though, that's for sure.
Sweeping the dial.
Jeremy Fowler said that the Seahawks will be getting Rashid Shaheed a lot more involved in the offense this season.
I did make some calls for a came on the show, a little bit of intel on Seattle. More motions and shifts in the offense. They will have that with Brian Fleury. I'm told that Sam Darnold's really comfortable with that. Rashid Shaheed, we know he's fast. Yeah. He had a major spring, I was told. He and Sam Darnold hitting it off. They're going to give him more. Some of those routes you saw that Jackson Smith and Jigba was running so well last year, he'll still do this, but they're going to give more short to intermediate stuff, too, to Rashid Shaheed. He's going to be a big-time player for them. They feel comfortable. Those tight ends are going to be moving all around with the motion that they're going to be doing.
I like the sound of that because you and I, Dave, talked a lot about, obviously as a return guy, he had a huge impact. As a receiver, there wasn't much there. He had 26 targets, 15 catches, no touchdowns, 188 yards. It was just kind of and he played in 9 games. Just never really materialized in the passing game.
And how many special team touchdowns did he have? He had a punt return for a touchdown against the Rams, and then kickoff return opener against the Niners in the playoff game.
Yeah.
But and you can kick away from him on the kickoffs, but now you've got Jadarian Price who
1 punt, 1 kickoff. 100 yards and 58.
Yeah, they talked about getting him going in the run game, but you can only run the fly sweep so many times. So it'll be interesting to see how they get him. Could not be a nicer kid, Rashid Shaheed. He's just an awesome gentleman of a guy, and easy to root for. But I think that's going to be one of the big, especially with JSN. JSN needs to get his targets, no question about it. But how they implement him will be interesting. And they paid him $17 million, right? We were talking about that with K9 that he got 14 in Kansas City, and that's only $3 million more that you get a guy that is he's out there and going to be splitting targets with JSN.
Sweeping the dial.
Gray Zabel shared his welcome to the NFL moment.
All training camp, the first 2 weeks, I thought I was getting cut. Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, Jaron Reed, those guys, I couldn't block them. It was just a free pass to a quarterback whenever the play was called. And I remember calling my dad, and I'm like, Dad, this isn't good. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I'm going to get a desk job. I'm going to work in the cubicle. That's going to be my life. I couldn't do it. And then kind of started catching stride week 3 and understanding the tempo and the pace and the speed that it's played at. And then it just keeps on working and working. And then you get into that first game. And this was my true welcome to the NFL moment. It's the first or second play of the game, and it was a pass play. Dude just bull rushes me and puts me right into Drew Lock. And I'm like, Drew, thanks for getting the ball out. Appreciate that. And then it was you kind of wake up and you're like, all right, I go against 3 of the best interior D linemen in the National Football League every single day in practice. Just take a deep breath. And from there, it was okay. But that was that first or second play against the Raiders game. I just got worked.
I love that. That's funny to hear a first-round pick going, I'm going to get cut.
Yeah.
I'm going to get cut, Dad. I don't think I'm built for this.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching in the mock game, they did some drills. There was all kinds of things going on. There was like a goal line on one side and then pass rushers and then running backs covering. They did a good job with it. They got lots of work in. But I remember watching Big Cat use a spin move on Gray Zabel and just whooped him. But he recovered really well. Like he took a step back and was able to kind of cut him off where, you know, if that had been a real play, I think the quarterback could have adjusted and moved up in the pocket. Yeah. And I was like, wow, look at that recovery. But can you imagine going up against those guys? Now you got Riley Mills in there on the inside. I mean, that guy is just a monster. So, yeah, there's just no – I mean, you got Jaron Reed.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Riley Mills probably
Murphy.
Maybe the I don't want to say weakest, but I mean, as far as like the best players are, you know, Leonard, Murph, then it goes to Jay Reed and Riley Mills. I mean, that's a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, and it's good. It's interesting to hear him like reflect on that. Like, look, I'm going up against some of the best interior tackles in the league.
Yeah.
Just take a breath. You're going to be fine. You know?
Yeah, after that, I mean, he's probably thinking, oh, this is gravy the rest of the way here. It's getting easier.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, going against those guys every day, and that's pretty awesome. And it sounds like also, remember there was that clip where him and Leonard Williams were sitting on the sidelines, and he said something about burn the B gap because they're sliding your way.
Yeah.
And you know, and Big Cat was like, credited him afterwards, and he's like, yeah, the rookie came over and gave me some advice that ended up working because he did burn through the B gap and get a sack. So, and I can't remember what game that was in. I thought it was against the Niners, but anyway, it was just awesome to see that. And here you got a guy that thinks he's going to get cut as a first rounder.
As a first rounder, I'm getting cut.
And now he's giving those guys advice during a game later in the season. So
you were a second rounder and you thought you were getting cut. Didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on cut day, I was like looking around, going, "Oh my God, where's the guy that says, hey, get your playbook?" And the Turk. So. Yeah, you know what, though? I think that is typical, kind of like we were talking about with Arch Manning. You don't like the hype before. That's just a typical, that's how you think. I thought that when I went to Denver.
Yeah.
Because they had this guy that was way cheaper than me at the time, and he was pretty fast, but he couldn't play. And I could see that. But still, I was like, I think I might get cut. You know, so it's just a typical mentality, I think, in the NFL. And, you know, I think it's healthy. Really
keeps you sharp.
Yep.
Keeps you sharp. Meanwhile, what do we need to see from the Mariners offense against this Angels team? Get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
This was a bad trip.
Throw home, one hop to slide the tag. He is safe at home as the ball was dropped. 2 more runs.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take.
And they lose their grip on first place in the West.
Tonight, the Mariners are back home at T-Mobile in the first of 3 against the Angels.
Get back home and get ourselves on a roll and get going.
6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First. We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Everything that matters is at stake in a divorce. Your home, your savings, your children. For many of our clients, a divorce was unwanted. This is Rick Jones. At Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men, our team of experienced attorneys handle every aspect of a divorce and custody case. When stakes are high, you need a lawyer you can trust. Husbands and fathers trust Goldberg Jones. Visit us at goldbergjones.com to get your questions answered at no charge. That's goldbergjones.com.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Pros, save more on what you need to get the job done right. Right now at Lowe's. Get 15% off select custom entry and interior doors. Plus, save $80 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit. Now just $169. And at the Lowe's Pro Desk, bring us your materials list and get a quote in minutes. Handwritten, a photo, or even a sticky note is all you need. Keep your jobs moving faster and on budget at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners looking to right the ship as they welcome the Angels to town. Game 1 of a 3-game series coming your way tonight. You can catch it all right here starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch. Seattle Sports on 710. George Kirby takes the hill for the Mariners. He's going up against a guy who's coming off his best start of the season, certainly, against the Orioles. But Ryan Johnson at this point is 1-2 with an 8.84 ERA. Somebody you feel like you should have your way with as an offense. We'll see what happens. Again, pregame show coming up at 5:30. Meanwhile, game's going on right now. They're in the bottom of the 5th in Baltimore. White Sox and Orioles tied at 2 apiece. Pirates and Phillies in Philadelphia. Phillies up 5-4 in the top of the 5th. Guardians and Rangers in the top of the 4th. No score in that one. Tigers out to a 5-0 lead over the Yankees in the top of the 3rd. New York. Mets and Blue Jays are in Toronto. Blue Jays up 1-0 in the top of the 4th there. Bottom of the 3rd in Boston. The Red Sox are now out to a 5-1 lead over the Nationals. And you've got the Reds up 1-0 on the Brewers. That one in the bottom of the 1st.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Fast Home Services.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Got the Angels in town tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game series where the Mariners, they don't get right against the Angels. I don't know what we say after that. This is not a good team. The Angels are currently 36-49 on the road. They are 15-27. This is not a good team.
Yeah, they fired their GM today.
Yeah, I think that happened over the weekend. But yeah, they fired the GM.
When I heard about it.
Yeah. It's been a bad team for a while. It's amazing with the talent they've had come through there and the money they've spent, and they cannot get right ever. And this is a team that you should, on your home field, beat. You beat this team. That's what you do, Dave. You don't let this team come in here.
Yeah.
You don't let this pitcher with an ERA a shade under 9 come in here and shut you down. If that happens, I'm going to throw up everywhere.
Well, I mean, maybe lots of Baltimore Oriole fans are threw up on the 23rd because he went 6 innings.
Yeah.
0 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts.
And that lowered his ERA to 8.8.
I know. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at that last outing. You know, there's lots of 2 and 1 and 3 and a third that he went through.
He's
where
a bullpen guy.
He gave up, 5 earned runs, 6 earned runs. Yeah, so, I mean, this is something that should be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, that's he was a prospect. Gary talked about how he made the jump straight from being drafted into the big leagues and all of that. I don't care about his path. I don't care about how heralded he is. This is the way he's performing currently.
You don't want to hear it.
No, there'll be no tipping of the cap.
No.
There'll be none of that. We will not do such a thing. I expect the Mariner bats to take advantage, to go out there and do what they should do against a team like this and a pitcher like this. So,
yeah, and you got what, 4 right-handed batters going against a right-handed pitcher. You got Julio and Rosarena and Robles. Sorry, 3, right? Did I miss Rosarena? Anyway, yeah, it's they got some lefties going against him, so hopefully that will they'll treat him the way he should be treated, as a scrub.
Yeah,
that's really what he's been until this last outing.
Yeah, last outing was really good,
unbelievable.
Yeah, let's make it 1 in a row.
But like I said, if you're the Orioles, you're probably just going, oh man, I don't know. It's kind of interesting because that was kind of a you were mentioning the ERA, and then Gary Hill caused me to look up his last outing, and certainly looked,
it was good.
Looked really good.
Yeah, I'm glad he got that out of his system. Now let's get back to regular scheduled programming, and that's where you get lit up.
Yeah.
The lineup is out there. If you guys haven't seen it, Crawford leading off, followed by Julio, Canzone DHing, hitting 3rd, Rosarena hitting cleanup in left field, Naylor hitting 5th, first base, Cal hitting 6th. So they've been working Cal lower in the lineup until he can find his rhythm. Cole Young, Robles, Emerson. That's your lineup for today.
Yeah.
So they've had Cal in the 6 hole, 5 hole, and he's back to 6 today. So not sure if that works or not, but hey, at least they're switching it up. They're not putting Canzone hitting 3rd, which is good. Even though I don't know how much you watched yesterday. He's clearly not right with the hamstring.
Yeah.
He's not running the way he's not a burner as it is. He's got a very odd running style. Runs with his hands really low.
His hands are low. Yeah,
really
no question.
low.
It's funny when we interviewed him, I thought he was like 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". No.
He's what, 5'10"?
Stocky dude.
Maybe? Yeah. He's thick dude. He's put together.
The low arm run.
Yeah.
It's down here. Yeah. So, it's the one guy I'm really interested in watching, and I hope that he has a game like he did yesterday, is Robles.
Yeah.
I just want to see him provide that kind of spark, and he just plays with so much energy, and that's what they need right now. They just need to wake up and, have some urgency, and that's that describes Robles' game.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see, and that's not anything we'll Yeah, I'm curious the reaction to Cal's comments. Like if that clubhouse took it as, hey, he's right. We all need to play 9 here. We're not playing 6 innings. We're not playing 5. We're playing 9. Or if somebody's like, is he talking about me? Who's he talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious how those are received out there. But this is a big one for Kirby because he looked like Kirby in that last start, even though there were moments he had some traffic, but ultimately he goes 6 innings, allows 1 earned run in that game. There were 2 runs scored, but 1 earned.
Mm-hmm.
He's walked a lot more than he has in the past. It's been interesting because he's had 3 quality starts in a row, and we talked about it prior to his last start where we're like, yeah, he's had these quality starts, but he's kind of, he's been in trouble. He's worked his way out. He just hasn't looked that sharp precision Kirby.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that. Even the last game, I know we're nitpicking a guy who's got 3 quality starts in a row. I'm just waiting for him to look like that. It's sort of like we were with Logan, where Logan was kind of hanging around every other start. He looked like Logan. Then he went on this tremendous run prior to his last start where you're like, okay, that looks like 2024 Logan there.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Kirby. I'm curious to see which version of Kirby we get tonight.
Yeah, he's been kind of mixed a little bit. And really, since I mentioned Robles, he's had, like right now in this month, he's not doing well. But he's had, some stretches where he is. So, yeah, I'd like to see Kirby be a little bit more of, the guy that he was last time because, or the last 3 games. But, he's had a couple where, and he started off pretty good actually, but he just hasn't taken that jump that I thought maybe he would. So he hasn't really been in the discussion when we've talked about, okay, where does he rank as far as the 5, sometimes 6 starters.
Yeah, and I'm wondering as far as his command goes, like where how much of it is struggling or how much of it is just going, you know what, I need to induce more chase. I need to get, because he's always around the plate. That's the rep with him. He's going to be around the plate. So go up there and get hacking, get ready to swing because he's going to give you something to hit. And in an effort to combat that, how much of this is intentional? The increase in walks, not that he's trying to walk guys, but more that he's trying to throw off the plate more than he would in the past in order to get guys to kind of chase. Because you look at it, this was the number I would marvel at every year. His first 3 years, he had more starts than he had total walks.
Right.
First year, 25 starts, 22 total walks. The next year, 31 starts, 19 walks. Year after that, 33 starts, 23 walks. Then last year, it flipped. Last year, he had 23 starts. He was injured to start the year, so maybe that threw things off. But he had 29 walks, so he had more walks than starts. And then so far this year, he's had 16 starts with 23 walks.
Yeah.
So it's just these last 2 years, it's gone the other way. I think some of it is intentional again, trying to stay, out of
paint the edges.
Yeah, and just get guys to chase and do some contact, try to roll over on some things, what have you. But it's been interesting to watch because those first 3 years, he was unreal when it came to, again, to have more starts than walks on the entire season.
Yeah.
3 years in a row.
Yeah,
amazing.
But the league figures you out, right? So, but and I remember when he would walk somebody during those first couple of years, he was like fire coming out of his eyes.
Yeah,
hated it.
You still got more career start. You look at him, 128 career starts, 116 walks.
Yeah,
but it's flipping the past 2 years. So, just something I've noticed a little different with him. Some of it I think is intentional, but I just want to see that dominance. I want to see him go out there and just look like that guy, right? That Ryan talked about when we talked, way back about, which of these guys brings back the biggest return hypothetically if you were to trade one, and his answer was George Kirby.
Right.
So
1,000%.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for this offense to get healthy. The other thing I want to see, play clean. Play clean. There's going to be bad hops. There are going to be those moments, but a lot of the mistakes that they've made have been self-induced. They've been throwing errors. They've been, JP with a wonky throw from third, or Naylor with a number of goofy throws this year. We've seen that, a lot of just self-induced mistakes on defense. You're just not good enough to overcome that stuff. You don't have that slack. You're not a good enough team. It'd be different if you were out there just mashing and putting up runs left and right, and you're going to get away with it. That's fine, but you're not. You've got no slack. You're now a losing team, and you're in second place. So it's time to clean that stuff up.
Yeah, Gary brought this up about Gary Hill Jr., talking about slugging. And you look at where the Mariners are, because I'm just looking at some of the Angels. I mean, they're kind of middle of the pack as far as average on-base percentage slug. But the Mariners are 27th in slug, 382. So he's absolutely right. Need some extra base hits.
Yeah, you got to beat a team you're supposed to beat. And Matt asked the question here: what would a series win mean for the Mariners' second half plans? I don't think it means anything. I don't know what you would take from this, but he also asked what would a series loss mean? That would mean a whole lot more.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of a no-win situation for him, because if you beat them in this series, if you take 2 of 3 or hopefully 3 of 3, and by the way, it is a different series because of the World Cup. So you got a game tonight, tomorrow, no game Wednesday, game Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
World Cup screwing things up.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you take 2 of 3 or 3 of 3, yeah, you sweep them, great. You feel good about that, but you don't feel like, okay, we've conquered this big monster. You beat the Angels, who are one of the worst teams in baseball.
Yeah.
But if you lose this series, that's got a whole different implication than winning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate. It maybe not fair, but that's the truth. You lose the series to the Angels, I don't even know what the conversation is. I guess it depends on how you lose, why you lost. You know, if it was the offense, sloppy defense, pitching, whatever the reason is. But, man, I don't want to have that conversation, Dave.
No, I don't either. Yeah, no, like you said, it's almost like a no-win situation for the Mariners, because, you know, you look at, they should take care of this team. But, you know, and okay, maybe I'll take a series win. That's fine. But because you haven't won a series in the last 3, so it'd be nice to get back on track. But yeah, I don't think, you know, the wins. You just want to take care of business, right? This is a team you absolutely should beat.
Well, and I'll be curious to see what the crowds are like. You know, we've talked about it with the Seahawks and you know, their home field advantage. You got to give the crowd a reason to come out here. You got to give them a reason to come out here and be loud. You know, especially a baseball team, it's a much harder task because there are so many games. So many. You got 81 home games. Mm-hmm. You know, it's easier in football to generate that enthusiasm for one game a week. So, yeah, Mariners, they got to give the fans a reason to be fired up again and be optimistic again, because coming off this road trip, it's the natural way to be is pessimistic and go, what, this is wrong, that's wrong, bench this guy, cut this guy, fire that guy. I understand it. It makes sense, unfortunately. So hopefully we're having a different conversation after the Angels leave town.
Yes.
Because I'm calling in sick if they lose this series, I'm telling you. Meanwhile, let's get to what we learned.
This is a house of learned doctors.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What did we learn today?
No one's a bigger idiot than me.
Stupidity is the easiest way out.
Well, we didn't have any of those snappy Lefko teases coming into this, so I'm not sure exactly what we learned. But, Matt, what do you got?
Coming up next in What We Learned, we're going to hear about Ryan Rowland-Smith.
And, yeah, that's what we did.
Bob's is better. So in Ryan Rowland-Smith's Open, we use a very specific clip of him, which I love.
You guys don't listen when I speak. I'm talking to a brick wall right now when I'm talking to you guys, I feel like.
And during our interview with Ryan, we found out the origin of that phrase.
What were we doing when you said it was like talking to a brick wall, talking to us? What?
No. Okay, that wasn't. You guys got all upset and offended over that.
No,
it was.
No.
We're still.
No, it was more of. I was rambling so bad that you guys just zoned out, just tuned out on what I was talking about. I was like, man, I'm just talking to a brick wall right now. That's what I was. I was ripping myself.
See, he always changes it around to like something positive. Like when I thought he was a right-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's actually a compliment.
Yeah. He was saving you there. He was saying, it's okay. Thanks for complimenting.
So, yeah, he's talking to a brick wall was his fault.
Because we tuned him out because he was rambling so much. He just saw our eyes roll back in our head and go, I don't know what you're talking about, man. What are you talking about here? Love Ryan. So good.
Yeah, he's always so positive.
Yeah, and always very self-deprecating, too. Yeah. What else did we learn?
Well, speaking of our producer emeritus, we also learned what you should do in case of a Lefko sighting.
You guys come to the game this week or what?
Yeah.
We'll see. I see you guys here all the time, man. It's great. It's awesome.
We'll see.
Except for Lefko.
Yeah.
I don't need to say him.
He's not in the room today, so you're safe. You're good. We appreciate.
I actually see him down here right now. He's hovering. I'm like, dude, you don't need to be here. Go away.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
Shoe fly. Shoe. And then he made his appearance in our conversation with Gary Hill Jr. We think it was his thumb.
Yeah.
Floating the picture of Matt's Little League card.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what's funny? I was going to skip this one, but we did learn that even when Lefko is not here, he can annoy the bejesus out of us.
During that conversation with Gary Hill, there was a floating iPad with Matt's Little League picture from a baseball card. They make them for Little Leaguers.
Sure they do.
We had Matt's
making
its debut on this show, on the video, I think thanks to look like Lefko's thumb.
It did look like
Thumb's thumb.
Thumb's thumb, yeah. It just looked twitchy and nervous, so it was him. But, yeah, it was a good picture, though.
How does a thumb look twitchy and nervous?
It was moving around.
It's moving around.
Is it squared up in the shot? Do I need to move it left, up, down?
Matt, looks like you're a righty batter there. What position we playing?
Oh, I don't remember, man. I only did Little League baseball for one season, and I was out.
Did you want to do it, or were you forced into it?
Forced. Like most sports after the age of, 8?
Forced.
I'm not an athlete. It's just, I ain't got that dog in me.
I was not a baseball player. They stuck me in right field, which is supposed to be where you had the strongest throwing arm, but that's not
what level were you playing?
It was my freshman year at Worcester High School. And then, at one point I speculated that I could have actually got up and gone to Burger King, and they wouldn't have noticed. I hated it.
Yeah. Usually in Little League, the right fielder is usually your worst player.
Yeah.
Then I was probably out in right field. If I had to guess, probably right fielder.
You were the kid with the mitt on your head, looking around behind you.
I was the kid just sitting in the grass looking at all the bugs crawl around. I had no interest in the game that was happening miles away from me.
Yeah, Matt's sitting in the outfield. He's got a ladybug on his hand. He's playing with it.
Oh, that cloud looks like the Starship Enterprise.
He's catching butterflies out there.
His coach is screaming at him, Nelson, get up!
That coach was not a fan of me.
Yeah. He didn't say good hustle ever? You never heard that?
No, he wasn't a liar.
Yeah.
There was no hustling there.
I remember when I was in the 5th grade, maybe, I was playing catcher. And it was a really, really long inning, and I had to go to the bathroom really bad.
Of course.
And so I got plowed at the plate. And as soon as I hit the ground, it was just there it goes. Can't help it.
Peed your pants.
Peed my pants. Yeah. Bad experience in baseball for
Proud moment for the Wyman parents there in the stands, watching their little boy.
Luckily, I was well hydrated, so wasn't as obvious.
Oh, I just picture your mom and dad in the stands going, "Oh, little Davey had an accident."
Yeah. Yeah, probably my mom was probably sympathetic, and my dad was probably that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Did we bring extra pants? We got to put a towel down for him on the ride home. Oh, that's so good. Oh, what else did we learn?
We also learned that Dave isn't a fan of the hot dog eating contest.
The only thing that fascinates me is you see the number of hot dogs that the guy eats, and then you look at him, and it's where is it going?
Yeah, the people that generally do the worst are the big, large people who look like, oh, this guy's going to crush the field, and they are rarely in the thick of it. It's always this, Kobayashi for years was the guy. He's a tiny guy.
Yeah.
Tiny little guy. Now it's Joey Chestnut.
How do the little skinny guys, my dad used to say, maybe he's got a hollow leg. Very corny. But, yeah, I don't know where it goes. That's what disgusts me about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I get a kick out of it.
I just got to say, Bob being a fan of the hot dog eating contest and Dave not being a fan of the hot dog eating contest, shocking.
Seems counterintuitive.
Backwards in my head.
Mind blown. Right? Yeah.
I marvel at their ability. I don't want to partake, but I kind of marvel at it.
Yeah, but the winners look more like you, less like me. So, yeah, it's that one does kind of creep me out. I have too many questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about after?
Where does it all go?
Joey Chestnut says he walks on a treadmill for about 5 hours directly after the competition. Right? He just works.
Does he make himself throw up?
I'm not sure about throwing up. I think he probably sits down for a while.
Oh, because a lot of those people are competitive. Like, that's their living. It's not just that. They travel around the country, and they introduce them, and they're like, here's the asparagus eating champion of 2026, and here's the fried donut or the fried chicken eating champion. Like, there's all these different competitions around the country they do.
Yeah.
And I think Joey Chestnut's got a number of different titles beyond the hot dog one.
When those guys eat, because I haven't watched the hot dog, like how many bites do you think per hot dog?
I mean, half the time it looks like they're just shoving it down.
Shoving it in there?
Yeah.
If you throw that back up, it could get caught in your throat. I'm surprised there's not more people that die.
I mean, you see them just, I don't think there's a lot. I think they do as minimal amount of chewing as they have to.
Disgusting.
It takes too much time to chew.
Yeah.
So you see them just soaking the bun in the water and doing all that. And
so is it just, it's volume, it's not on a timer, right?
Well, they have a time limit, yeah.
There is a time limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us. Our thanks to Ryan Rowland-Smith and Gary Hill for joining us on the program. If you guys missed any part of today's show, you can find it on the podcast page. We're going to be here tomorrow with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
This was a bad trip.
Throw home, one hop to slide the tag. He is safe at home as the ball was dropped. 2 more runs.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take.
And they lose their grip on first place in the West.
Tonight, the Mariners are back home at T-Mobile in the first of 3 against the Angels.
Get back home and get ourselves on a roll and get going.
6:40 first pitch. Pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Bigger summer crowds deserve bigger savings. Get more out of summer at Chef Store with warehouse savings on grilling must-haves for restaurants, food trucks, and events. Plus, we're open to the public. No membership required. Visit Chef Store today.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. As a family law attorney, I know firsthand the challenges and obstacles men face in divorce and custody matters. Our firm is committed to protecting what matters most, and we're on your team. Find us at goldbergjones.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. Case in point, your ticket might be for the view level, but it's more like Skyline City. Up here, it's hard to say what'll take your breath away first. The gorgeous Seattle sunsets or the spectacular views of every incredible play. If you like value with a view, it's the perfect place to take quality time with the family to a whole new level. Literally.
A bases clearing, 3-run double. Everybody on their feet here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Join the Mariners for 4th of July weekend at T-Mobile Park as the team squares off against the Blue Jays. The fun gets started Friday with a fireworks night presented by T-Mobile. Then celebrate the 4th on Saturday with a patriotic bucket hat. Available to the first 10,000 fans thanks to Coca-Cola. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging.
Let me check that for you.
To help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job. I lost my wife. I lost the house. I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578.